Welcome to the city of Portage La Prairie, Manitoba for Shaw TV's live coverage of the 2017 Canadians Men's Classic. This event is part of the World Curling Tour, proudly sponsored by Canad. I'm your host, Blair Balestravich. We're here at ice level getting ready for the action between Team Epping and Team Schuster. But before that, we're going to give it away to Resby Coots and Maureen Bonner.
Sunday evening at the Canadians Classic, 3 games on the ice, the Seaside qualifier events. We have the Japanese team by Yusuke Morizumi playing Colton Flash. We have our winner this afternoon, Dylan Johnston, playing the Korean Olympic team, skipped by Changmin Kim. And we have the game that we're going to watch tonight, Maureen, the John Schuster, John Epping game.
Well, it's going to be an interesting game. I'm sure these two have played each other several times throughout the last few years. I think it's a battle of the Johns. We'll see who comes out on top.
This would be a game where it won't flash through their mind tonight, but if they were to reflect on it later, they would say, I'd love to play this guy again in February in the Olympics.
Oh, for sure. I'm pretty sure that John Epping would be thrilled to be able to say that.
The 5 qualifiers so far: Reed Carruthers, Glenn Howard from the A, Jacobs, McEwen, Cooey from the B. No surprise. No surprises.
They've been playing earlier this year, so they've likely got all their systems running on cue. And I think, you know, they're used to this event. They've been here before, and actually Glenn actually said he was quite surprised he made it through A, so that's a good start for him.
So our game for you tonight, a pair of Olympic hopefuls, the former United States champion and an Olympian, John Schuster, and an aspiring Canadian champion, aspiring Olympian, John Epping. We'll be right back with more from the 2017 Canadians Men's Classic.
Destination Centers, proud to support our community with 10 destination centers in Manitoba.
Club sheet number 5 of the Canadians Classic, and a C qualifier game featuring the American team, John Schuster and John Epping from Ontario. We just saw the Epping team go through their pregame practice routine. They threw their rocks. They've thrown their draw to the 4-foot to determine last rock, and the game didn't make it to the 4-foot. In fact, Maureen, little short, just bit the 8-foot circle. But as you watched that first set of practice rocks, did you see much difference from the game we watched earlier today?
Maybe a little bit keener. It's running about 14 and a half hog to hog, so it might be a little bit keener this game, but for most part it looks consistent across the surface of the ice.
So we should have a really good game. We got 2 top level teams. The Epping team, a team that has shown the value of really going out and chasing over the last 2 or 3 years. They've really improved.
For sure. John Epping, I think, has brought his game up over the last 2 years substantially. He is just an incredible shot maker, and he's got a really strong team underneath him. He's got a great substitution player today in Charlie Thomas, and I think this is going to be a real battle, because I think Schuster too has an incredible game. Watching him at the Olympics and at the World Championships in the past few years, he's really pulled it into a very competitive team.
Well, the Schuster team is comprised of it's a team with international experience. John Schuster is the skip. Tyler George is the third. Matt Hamilton plays second. Matt Hamilton is also a mixed doubles specialist with his sister Becky. And the lead on the team is John Landsteiner. They play from the Duluth Curling Club.
Oh, it's the sheet with the hair in front of the hack.
And Team Epping, John Epping, of course, is the skip. Charlie Thomas is playing third, and he also is a Canadian mixed doubles champion, and he is filling in tonight with the John Epping team. Patrick Jansen, and then Tim March at lead.
You know, Maureen, the opportunity presents itself as we've introduced a pair of mixed doubles specialists. The second on the American team, Matt Hamilton, the third on the Canadian team, the Ontario team, Charlie Thomas. It gives you the opportunity to look ahead to the first week in January this year, when the Canadian mixed doubles trials will be played in the Portage, in Stride Place here in Portage.
Awesome segue, Resby. It's going to be wonderful for this club to host that. And, you know, we are just on the cusp of really getting into the mixed doubles championships and competition. We've been in it a couple of years now, but, you know, a lot of Europe and the other countries across the world have been playing this for several years. So we are playing a bit of catch up, but I really like some of the teams that have been put together, the combinations of teams, and they're really taking hold of it and wanting to play it.
It's a neat testimony to Manitoba curling, frankly, that the first Canadian curling trials were played in Brandon. The first mixed doubles trials are going to be played here in Portage.
That is very fitting as well, especially when Portage, I think, held the first competition in mixed doubles under the instruction or overseen by Jeff Stoughton was a contributing factor to bringing that here and working with that. So hats off to Jeff, and hats off to the Portage Curling Club to be able to host that event here.
So we just give that little plug for the Portage Curling Club and the Canadian Mixed Doubles Trials. First week in January, 2nd to 7th at Stride Place here in Portage La Prairie. We're going to take a little break. We'll be back as the Schuster team finishes their practice round.
Destination Centers, proud to support our community with 10 destination centers in Manitoba.
Shaw TV presents Canadians Women's Classic Live from Portage La Prairie, Manitoba. The women take to the ice for week 2 of our Canadians coverage, beginning Saturday at 5 p.m. with their final match on Monday at 6 p.m. Catch all the action at the Canadians Classic live from Portage La Prairie, Manitoba.
We're back in the Portage Curling Club over sheet number 5 as we were this afternoon. We watched John Schuster and his team from Duluth, Minnesota conclude their practice round. The Epping team, their opponents for tonight, have already completed their practice. John Epping in his draw to determine last rock, probably not real happy with his result, bit the 8-foot circle, so it'll be a fairly routine draw for Hammer for John Schuster. It's an interesting draw, Maureen. We talked about it in the opening, but we've got over on sheet 3, we've got the team from Japan playing a young Canadian team skipped by Colton Flash, a new team, Dylan Johnson, who we saw this afternoon, and we were tremendously impressed with Dylan and his team playing the Korean Olympic team and the Schuster Epping game, of course. We'll get back to it, but the opportunity for young Dylan Johnson and his team to play a team from Korea and a team they know is going to play in the Olympics, an interesting challenge, an interesting opportunity.
Pretty exciting for them, I would think. It just gives them a chance to basically put it out there and see where they rank against an Olympian team.
And from what we saw this afternoon, they're going to acquit themselves quite well.
Oh, if they play like they did this afternoon, they're going to give a big surprise to this Korean team. They had everything going, and it was working for them. And their communication this afternoon was pivotal, I think. They just played within themselves, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how they do against this Korean team.
We had just a brief moment to chat with their coach, a Manitoba champion, a Canadian champion, and a world champion. He would say, and I'd agree, a long time ago, but also a member of the Manitoba and the Manitoba Curling and the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame, and Bob Ursel. Nice to see Bob.
Oh, really nice to see Bobby, and he's been working with this team for a couple of years now, and he's so modest. He says, he has nothing to do with their success, and I'm sure that he has helped them through developing to the point where their success is showing now.
So we're watching the final stones of practice by the Schuster team, and it's actually third man Tyler George who's throwing the last ones. So it's not a guarantee, but it would seem to be a reasonable assumption that he may be going to make the draw to the button.
I believe so at this point. He threw the last one for Tess, so I'm thinking he is going to be throwing this one. And it's not a bad idea to have different players throw it, especially if someone on your team is just feeling the ice and feeling that they have draw weight all week. Go with it.
That's one of those situations where you like to say, well, okay, that was it. We've just done it. So, but in fact, now you have to do it for real. And as we said, Tyler George will throw the draw to determine last rock in the game. John Epping's draw bit the 8-foot circle. So that's what Tyler George has to do. He has to be better than that full 8-foot to have last rock advantage in the opening end.
And this is the for real shot here we're watching.
You talked about the time during that little opening segment we did in terms of draw weight and so on. Did you notice any difference in the amount of curl in the ice, or is it going to be pretty much the same as what we saw?
I think it'll be the same. It looks like it's moving again just by around the hog line and moving in. Really nice curl. They'll be able to tuck rocks behind guards, tight guards, which makes it interesting. So, and I think if you up the weight a little bit, it continues to hold straight. So I'm anticipating that Epping doesn't throw usually a lot of weight on his hits. It's very nice controlled weight, and same with Schuster as well. So it'll be really nice to see how the ice plays out with that.
So Tyler George draws full to the 4-foot circle with his draw for hammer, and the game will get underway. The handshakes have taken place, and John Epping team in the hack. Okay. Yep, just regroup. The game gets underway. Tyler George draws to the 4-foot circle to win the hammer, and so the Epping team throws first. The opening end of our game from the Canadians Classic.
Boys, halfway, going half here? Okay. 14-5 to tee here, eh? Yeah, I agree. It's all a little late. Line's good.
The lead Tim March throws the opening rock.
I think so. Yeah.
Hard, guys. Hard. Yep, keep it moving. Keep it
Line's
moving.
good.
Keep it moving. Yep, keep it moving. That's good. Good spot, Tim. Very good.
Good sweep, guys. Boy. I'm going to join you this game.
So interesting. Epping puts his first rock out front. And we saw earlier this afternoon when we were watching the Lyburn-Johnston game, William Lyburn had his lead come into the house. So it'll be an interesting play right off the first end here.
Let's wait. Schuster team's
Five.
lead is John Landsteiner, and as Maureen has said, they're going to go immediately around that center guard to the forfeit circle.
Weight's really good. Line's good now. Line's good. Line's good.
Tie.
Right to 5. Maybe 6.
Should warp right in here. Easy, Matt. Easy.
Stop it,
Easy.
man.
It's going all the way under there. Yep, go. Go, yep. Yep.
Full weight, full weight. Go.
Hard, it's really dying. This is that rock that just doesn't glide, eh?
Okay, it's good.
Good.
Stay on this side.
Yep. T-line.
Maybe a little light.
Yeah.
A little quiet, guys.
Gotta go a bit.
Go then. Line's good.
Wait a bit.
Line's good.
Go if you have to. Line's great.
Line's good, guys.
Hard line. Hard line. Hard.
Come on, guys. You got it.
Hard. Hard. Pat. Go, Pat. Go, Pat. Go, Pat. Hard, Pat. Go. You gotta go, Pat. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep going. Keep going.
Yep.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Let's see if you guys.
Just a great draw, full, covers the pinhole, full on the button, and this sets up to be a wonderful end of first end, doesn't it, Maureen?
It does. I was just checking out the rocks. Resby he kept moving forward, and Resby's looking at, what are you looking at?
Really good.
What I'm looking at is how they're throwing the rocks, the numbers up, and it looks like Epping's team must know something about these rocks because they're not throwing them straight up. First Leeds rocks were paired up 1 and 7, or 7 and 3, I believe, but the Schuster team is throwing them straight up from 1 to 8. So far, anyway. But interesting because there was a comment made there after the second rock that's that rock that really cuts in there. So just those little nuances that teams make, and you kind of have to pick up on them and then look around and see what's going on. So
yeah, we hadn't checked the draw to see who among these teams had played on this same sheet, and that might be just the advantage that one of them has gotten by playing on this sheet through the game.
Well, and I remember Williams' team saying no, they thought that Williams' rocks moved a little harder or finished a little harder. So it'll be interesting to see if that's how they're playing them out.
Hard. Hard. Hard.
Getting better.
Gotta go.
Top 8. Top 12.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Okay.
Just looked like he held on to that a bit more.
Yeah.
These teams have great draw weight, Resby.
Well, yeah, well, you start with a center line guard, and then the next 4 shots are all draws to the 4-foot, albeit 2 of them have come just a little short of that. 2 rocks in the 8-foot, 2 in the 4-foot, and no indication of anything but let's throw another draw.
Hard, fellas.
So U.S. second man, Matt Hamilton.
7.
Hard, get out. Hard. Whoa, whoa. Yep, go now. Hard. Hard, tie stuff. Go, go, go. All right.
Did he line those blue ones up? They look like they're lined up to go. They're hit properly.
Yeah,
John likely try and run this back.
Try to run the yellow onto blues.
Think that's it, eh?
I think so.
If he can get the straight back on the yellow, for sure he kills 2 blues. It's a question of whether the middle one actually goes as well.
I'm wondering if it's maybe too early to do that yet.
Which
Yeah, you're
shot
thinking to
tie or
save
you
it?
guys?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, nothing's great here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you make that, obviously, that's where, well, we're going to leave him a double back. So.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Just so we're going to have 4 blue.
not tall enough.
No hits until.
Beauty of this game, Resby, you got the skip and third talking about the shots, and at the other end you've got both teams hanging out at the hog line having a little chat.
Chatting about what should happen.
Yeah.
Eventually they go back to the hit. Second man Patrick Jansen throws his second rock of this opening end, and it will be a run back on that yellow guard in an attempt to remove 2, possibly 3 of the blue stones, depending on angle.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
He's close.
Good.
2 of the 3 gone.
Shot, bud.
And yellow lies shot rock, but pretty much open.
All you gotta do is have a big piece of the 8-foot duck.
It's a really, really nice shot. Nice throw.
I was thinking board.
Straight on. Bangs the 2 top blues onto the back blue and takes the 2 out, leaving 1 blue stone.
So as we said, the angle just wasn't there to also kill that middle blue stone, but
Weight's good.
yellow gets a bit of a control situation here. If they just get 1 miss here, things are going to look very well for yellow.
Hard! Hard, never off. Never off, never off.
Johnny.
All right.
All right.
Throw, Matt. Nice weight.
Matt Hamilton with his second stone makes that little bump, but it leaves Epping now the opportunity to play a hit and roll to center line. It will still be shot rock, and if he can roll buried,
Gonna run good here.
Epping needing to steal or wanting to steal on the opening end, it would be a good start on that.
Yes, this is, if he can make this hit and roll here, tucked behind all the rocks in the front of the house, it'll be really sweet for Team Epping.
Weight's good.
This is the substitute.
Weight's good.
Gotta go.
Charlie Thomas wearing Matt Cam's jersey. That's what threw me there for a minute. I thought, oh, just a minute as he come back into the game, but wearing the team jersey. Got the hit, a little too much roll.
That's that same spot earlier today that we watched a couple of rocks take off. Charlie threw a really good rock here. He had just down weight, just down control weight, and they tried to, it just took off at the hog line in and over curled, just enough to roll through where they wanted to stick.
Well, if you go here, then he can freeze it.
Right.
But you beak it, he can roll and get shot, but if you go this way, you can't.
All right. So, if we roll in and he freezes, are we still shot?
Probably not.
Okay, then.
But, I mean, it's...
Yeah, then roll wide.
He's freezing for his life, though.
Yeah.
Troll.
Freezing for his life.
Weight's good.
Tyler George is opening rock of this first end.
Yeah, really hard.
Playing a hit on the open stone.
Hard! 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 Keep going, keep going.
He too got a big curl, Maureen.
I thought I got all the way out to that.
That's just edge of the
Yeah, it didn't
four
hit very
on
hard,
each
Donnie.
side. That's when it starts to grab and curl in. Especially with that down weight. A little more weight, I think it would hold straight.
Good control. All right. That didn't hit very hard because we didn't hit much of the rock.
Guys, need more ice, Ty.
Still think this will be that 2 to 3 feet crash.
Charlie Thomas, his second stone at the end. He'll play a draw, and I think Epping wants him to draw cornered on to the blue stone in the front of the forefoot.
Well, being a mixed double player, this is one of their bread and butter shots.
Thinking a little late.
Yep, he's close. Yep, little heavy. Top 4.
Hard line.
Teeth.
Hard line. Hard line. Hard.
Hard!
Oh, they just squeaked by that shot. 12-foot rock.
It's that same swing that we watched this afternoon. Tap
Heard
to
you
the
went
button.
overdrive on that one.
Charlie's
Throw
yelling
back
here, sweep hard, get it by, and they just inch
back
by
4
that
foot?
12-foot rock.
Okay.
Just tapping the blue to the button.
Shot, and then they tap this. This one's still stuck for shots.
Fine.
Call here is a draw to the back of the forefoot to sit second
Line's
stone.
good.
7. All right.
Close line.
You
At
heard
least back
John
8.
Schuster say then Epping follows and taps his yellow onto blue. The blue shot stone will still be sitting shot right.
Hard! Hard, Steiner. Just Steiner. Go, go, go. Hard, 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 hard. That'll work. It's fine.
Even if you get to there, you need
Yeah,
to open it,
yeah.
right?
I agree. It's coming in nice here, hey? Got 14-2 on that, Patty.
At little
Prong the
rub,
button essentially.
Maureen allows John Epping now to go to this side, and they
We both got 14.
assuming a good result, they then have the opportunity to play both sides of the center line, and that's a good position to be in.
Very good position. He wants to sit down in the corner of those two stones, just nestle in there.
It's not back 8, back 4.
Stay close, yep.
Whoa, back 4. Yep.
Whoa, yep.
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 Yep. Whoa.
Yep.
Back 4, back, back 4.
Whoa, rim.
Back
Rim.
8.
Whoa.
Rim.
Back 8,
Back
back
8.
4.
Whoa, then.
Back 8, back.
Whoa.
Did they jump on this too soon?
They have done. They didn't get that late bend that they needed, and they have swept it past it.
I think his weight was really nice. It's just that they got on it and was sweeping it a little too soon before it caught the curl.
I don't know, back 8,
What
right?
mine did to this line, right?
Right, it chipped on our
Yeah,
rock.
which is fine.
Okay, yep, no less than that.
Yeah, I think the exact same is great.
All right.
If not like a hair, like a half inch more.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we're going to throw 7.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's the normal curler. And this one, yeah. Just trying to freeze it in there, but if the line's
Well, there you go, Maureen. The Schuster team is actually throwing the 7 stone and the 2 stone on the blue set.
So they switched it up to
Yeah. Yeah, 95. Mine's good. 6, 7.
easy, easy.
Balls.
That line's good.
Yep. Whoa.
Line's good.
Whoa.
Line's good.
Whoa. 6, 7, 7.
Go if you need to. Line's good.
7. If you have to only.
Hard.
Whoa. Steiner. Yep, yep, yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hammy, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, he's got a peach.
An absolutely outstanding stone.
Very good. Perfect.
Epping and Charlie Thomas looked at their options, but
Well, then I'm just thinking though.
No, that's something.
For him though.
He can risk giving us a steal,
Yeah, you're right.
I think. Just try and tap this here.
Yeah.
his objective, Maureen, to tap the yellow to the blue that's on the button, but
Yeah,
not
if you,
really
if you roll
remove
right
the
there,
blue.
yeah.
Yeah,
Even if you
he's
roll
just
out, it's
trying
fine.
to
Yeah.
put it into the
Where'd you at, John?
middle of those
On
two
left.
blue stones and see what he can get out of it. Just
Yeah.
tapping it up, possibly
Kinda waiting
sitting
for
second
one.
shot.
Back 12. Back 12, probably.
This spot's the same, right? I thought.
Yeah, if anything, a foot or two
Foot or two slower.
Probably back 12-ish.
I think the same.
Yeah.
Back 12 -ish?
Fraction less.
Maybe a foot or two slower than that spot.
Whoa, whoa,
Back line.
whoa,
Me.
whoa,
Yeah, whoa,
whoa.
Back line.
Close.
whoa,
Now.
Me.
Whoa.
Whoa.
No. Pat. Pat.
Damn.
Yep. Pat.
Here it comes.
Whoa.
damn!
Whoa. Tim.
Good shot.
Great
Johnny.
shot by John.
Or can I?
Well, actually, yeah, why don't you just bump this one? Yeah, that just goes right
They had to
in.
wait on this shot. Just
Just exact
he
same way
threw
as you just
back
threw it.
12
tap it
weight
right
on
here.
that, just enough to tap
Probably
it
give me the
back.
same ice. This rock's a little straighter.
They
than
were
my
very
other one, so-
patient, got by the front, angled it into the blues.
What's that? No, because we can tap it on the angle. Tap it on the nose.
So that was probably like
T-natural.
top button. Probably need a butt. A foot more than you had at
Was
least.
that like a 95?
I had 401.
So Schuster goes to the intern side. He'll play a draw. He'll be trying to tap his the rock that he threw with his first stone, trying to move it up a few inches into a second shot position.
I think he only needs about a half a foot, doesn't he, Cresby, to get second
likely,
shot?
Yeah, if he can just really just has to rub it and
Matt.
promote it just that little bit.
Clean. Should be good. Should be good.
I think to use your expression, Maureen, he's got a peach.
He has a peach.
So, John Schuster and the team from Duluth, Minnesota, score a pair to open scoring in this game that we bring to you from the Canadians Classic. And earlier, Blair Melistravich had an opportunity to talk with John Schuster.
I'm Blair Melistravich, joined now by John Schuster. John, let's talk about how you feeling coming in today.
Feeling pretty good. We had a really tough battle here that came down to the last rock with one of the Korean teams, and we're able to make the last one and come out on top and get into this game, so we're feeling pretty good.
Now, what's your biggest mindset as you go towards the next match?
Basically is to take it one game, one rock at a time. So we're going to come out here and hopefully continue the strong finish we had to the last game and get a good start here.
Now, how do you feel the ice is?
Oh, the ice has been spectacular this week. It's curling plenty, so there's plenty of opportunity to make shots, whether there's high guards, tight guards, you can pretty much get around anything and make a ton of shots out here.
You know, out there, it's all about communication. How do you feel like your team's communicating?
Oh, our team, that's kind of where we, have worked incredibly hard the last few years is to have that solid communication. So I think we've been doing a good job of that this weekend, and I'll hope to continue it today.
Great. Best of luck to you.
Hey, thank you very much.
Still want to come on the 2017 Canadians Men's Classic.
We're back at the Portage Curling Club, the Shaw TV broadcast location at the upper level above sheet 5 as we watch John Epping trying to rebound from giving up a deuce to John Schuster. Well, in fact, more than two, but John Schuster made two very good shots in a very well curled end.
It was a great end, start to finish on that one. There was some awesome shots made right away in the start of this game. So this just bodes really well for our audience to watch these two teams battle it out.
You commented during that first end, Maureen, that the opening strategy was completely different from what we'd seen earlier today with William Lyburn and Dylan Johnston. But now, having scored two, the Schuster strategy is identical to Dylan Johnston's strategy.
For sure. He's putting that first rock in top 4 foot and saying, okay, John Epping, go do your stuff. If you want to try and get two, go for it. But I'm putting it in the house, and you're going to have to deal with it at some point.
Just try to turn a little bit.
Yeah, it'll turn.
That's
early
short.
One.
That's still short.
Perfect. Line's perfect for it.
Lead John Landsteiner's second stone of the end. The first one in the 4 foot, biting the button. The second one just short of the rings, touching center line. And Epping will go around the outside to the rock in the 4 foot.
Pretty close to where I threw last end, right?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, this will be a little fresher.
His lead, Tim March. The Epping team plays out of the Leaside Club in Toronto.
It's not bad. It might
Line's
go a
real
little.
good. Low early, low early.
Line's good. Wait's close, Johnny. We can.
Can't bump on this. Can't bump on this line.
Weight's pretty good. Just to it
Can't
right
bump
now.
on this line. Okay, we're bumping a bit right now. No, then.
Just
Okay,
to
get
it.
better. Right to it. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Come on, guys, hard. Go on, go on, go on.
Put a rock
Excellent
distance
shot
between
by
the two.
Tim March.
Guard's pretty good then. You like the guard then?
Probably here. Probably here, guys. I think it's here.
Okay.
This is okay too, Ham.
Okay.
Schuster asked his second man, Matt Hamilton, now to follow the March stone and just put it on the center line. He'll want it curled a little further than the March stone so that the angle is proper.
Four's good. Lot of room.
That's close.
Lot of room.
3, 4.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Okay, line's good now.
Gotta go.
Hold him. Yep, hard. Keep him.
Do it.
further.
That's good, 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 good. Attaboy, Hammer.
Just 3, boys.
Exactly what he wanted.
Excellent shot across the face of that yellow stone.
Hack weight on the one in the top 8. Tough shot, but take the guard.
Yeah. Like that.
Back 12.
Okay.
Back 12.
Hey,
Back 8,
be
back
nice here
12.
The objective here for Patrick Jansen is to just bump that blue stone that Matt Hamilton just threw in on top of the top of that yellow rock, and roll things around a little bit without killing anything.
Just a little separation.
Hack.
It's a little more than back 12.
Great shot, Pat.
nice shot,
Nice
Patty.
shot. He left that stone on the
Think rolling all
4-foot,
the
top
way
of the
there, probably
4-foot on the
good.
blue, just angled
I mean,
beautifully.
he's just
He
coming
came
and
down with
tapping
this
his
shot,
right on that angle.
just enough
Yeah,
weight
that's
to
fine.
tap
I mean,
the
they're
2
going to be sitting here open.
rocks out front to
Yeah, we're-
release them,
we're
and
runners,
then
like,
put
they
his
can
shooter
make this right now,
right,
too.
or the Yellowstone and the shooter right in position.
On the nose and kind of,
Sit here.
yeah, got ours
A little
out of
bit
the
of a
way.
frustration, I think, for
fine.
John Schuster, the way these ended up.
I'm okay with
We've
that.
seen
depends on what you
both
think
ends
he's doing
already,
if we hit
Maureen.
the
Some
winger.
really interesting
he's gonna tap
combinations
here,
of
but we
shots,
should have- I mean, it's
some
pretty
interesting
tough to keep
strategy,
on
but some
lining up
remarkable
one of them.
execution.
You
For
tap this
sure,
on
I just
high
get the
side,
feeling
fine.
with
You tap in the
these two
nose, well, maybe
teams that
not. All right,
there's no limit. They're very aggressive out there on the ice, and they're confident in all the shots that they're making. I just get that feeling that they're ready to play and ready to go for it.
Which good.
Lots of room.
10.
Right off, right off.
Second man, Matt Hamilton, his second stone of this end.
I hope I didn't jinx him.
Look at.
Sorry, Pat.
That, you'd have to say, would be the first full miss we've
Yeah.
seen in the entire game. Just a little overweight.
They're under at the blue.
There.
That'd be my other
just
option.
you don't
I like
wanna-
both. Is that bad? Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. I like your first then.
I don't mind. You roll.
What if you just
there.
hit rolling to the middle? Is that
And
dangerous?
I think he just runs the blue
Okay.
on a prayer.
Yeah. Just, I guess he goes here.
I like your first.
You sure? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Top 8. Full 8. Right on it. Frozen right on it.
Right on the nose, Patty.
Yeah. Full 8.
Well, they look at a lot of options, Maureen, but in the end, stay with the same line of thinking that we'll put it in the 8-foot.
Mm-hmm.
In that center line, we'll see what
Weight's
Shuster
not
does.
bad.
Probably runs the guard.
I would think so.
Just a little bump right now, maybe.
Roll then.
T.
Roll then.
Gonna come down. Close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're good. Not bad.
Okay, wait only.
All about line here.
Wait
Yes.
only.
No,
Whoa,
still
whoa,
T.
whoa.
T.
Whoa,
Still
then.
T.
Whoa then. Charlie. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
Okay.
Not bad.
We drill that. Is that catching the back?
That's what I'm
Maybe.
thinking. It might catch that
It
back
should.
one.
I think if you make the roll, it's probably
We
good.
probably have to. We got to move that.
Yeah. You probably don't want to roll too far though. You don't want to roll to a crotch. You just want to even beak is probably okay.
Yeah, maybe just a hair on the
Just
inside.
a hair on the inside.
Yeah, we might get lucky on the back
Yeah.
one.
Throw it. It's probably going right into the side. Unless it's a little bit inside, it might catch you back.
Okay.
Feel.
So this is Tyler George, and there's really no finesse to this. Just throw it and see what happens.
Whoa!
Hard!
Yep.
Hard! Right
Yeah.
to it! Right to it!
Hard, Johnny, go!
Go all the way up.
Go!
Beauty.
And that was just as John Schuster had said. If we get the little roll to the center line, we just might get that one out of the back corner.
You hate
Yeah,
that?
he
sir?
hit this on the inside of the top one, which allowed that
That's
rock
fine,
to
yeah.
spin off the back yellow stone and roll towards the back end of that rock in the 12-foot, taking them both out. Great shot.
Probably going 80 here.
2/3.
How's that look? 2/3. How's that look for ice?
What weight am I throwing?
Peel. Is that okay?
I think a little less. Yeah.
Okay, buddy, you got this.
Throwing the big weight hit, Charlie Thomas. He hopes to hit this stone and jumps pretty much sideways and push that blue rock across out of the rings.
You'll want it to actually go down too.
Okay.
Just hitting stuck right there.
Too much of the nose of it.
You just smash it into the crotch, right? Okay. Even if you just run it straight onto this yellow, it's not terrible.
Sure.
That's airing on this side. What turn you want to throw?
I think I like the out.
You like the out now?
Yeah.
Okay. Just inch off nose, maybe even a little more.
Okay.
Inside.
Yeah.
Inside nose straight back into the crotch of those yellow and blue stones and make everything go.
Oh. Whoa.
So he wants to hit the center line side of this target stone.
Whoa. Yeah.
Roll into Matt Hamilton's feet.
Boy, tie nice pair, buddy.
Great shot
Tyler
making.
George, great shot. And there's an Anne Maureen that went from pure finesse draws to solid hit.
Oh, this is a great shot by Tyler. He needed the inside of that stone.
Yeah.
Puts it into the crotch and gets rid of both the yellows. Sits 2 blue.
Just throw normal.
Yeah.
Is that okay there?
Yeah. Burn. Close.
Close.
Well, it gives a chance for John Epping to hit these double these blue out and roll. If you can get a little bit of roll behind that corner guard.
Good spot.
Charlie throwing that stone. Really nice throw.
They've rolled a little too far, but it's partially guarded on the outside, pretty much wide open.
9/10.
9/10.
No. Board control. What's that? It's board control. I think if you throw control out here, it's going to end up being board because it's just going to be a little slower. So that's good.
Safe. Yeah. You want just a little more.
More?
Yeah. No, it's fine. You can do either one. I don't really care.
You probably see like 27-30 or something.
Yeah. 27-30. That's
18-20.
That's 9/10.
How much weight?
It's gonna come down to board probably.
So. Look, normal.
Gentle hit out and hit around the guard on the outside.
Whoa, solid. Normal. No. Whoa. Solid. No. No. Attaboy, John. All right, shot. Good.
Well, nose hit. It gives John Epping a chance to hit and roll behind that, or the option it looks like he's going with is the draw. Draw around the corner guard.
Pretty close up the middle. I threw one here. You saw it.
Well, of course, we've become familiar with John Epping, Maureen, although we don't have a chance to see him all that much, but clearly from the way this first end has gone and from this call, is a competitor who's got complete confidence in the draw game.
For sure. He can make all these shots. And I said that earlier in the opening. I said, I've really watched his game just take off and his confidence take off, and he's one of the great shot makers that we have right now.
Line's a little tight, maybe.
Weight's there right now, I think.
Line's a bit tight.
Whoa, no, you're good. Top 8.
Okay, whoa.
Line only.
Whoa.
Line only. We're T almost.
Room now.
Almost T.
Room now.
We're past you. Almost T.
Whoa. Good.
Great shot by John Epping.
Shot.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I can draw into this one.
You can do that. Or I can.
You got any of this?
No.
Dead buried?
Dead. Wow.
I mean, I could probably dig it past.
It's either hack or go under the blue.
Probably dig it past.
I don't mind
Just be a
either.
guess on the broom.
As a skip, you look at that shot that John just made, you know, and it's like making lemon out of lemon, or making lemonade out of lemon, because there wasn't really a lot options there. If he comes too deep, he gives the opportunity for John Schuster to angle his blue onto the shot rock. He made that absolutely perfect.
He might have wanted to be an inch or two shorter, but absolutely, you're right. There's just nothing they can do with it.
It's makeable for sure.
I mean, that broom might
matter
be
what
tight.
you prefer.
Even though it's mile, it's fun. It's my straighter, my 2 rocks, right? I mean, I got.
Heard that comment again. This is the straighter of my 2 rocks.
Mm-hmm. You will have skips that will take 2 different rocks just because they want to have one that may be straighter for, you know, certain shots.
So he plays the end turn. He's going to try to follow past that guard and tap the rock that John Epping just put in. But Rubs rolls through, leaves Epping a draw for 2.
What a great attempt that was.
What path do you like, boys?
Timmy threw the end turn.
John Schuster just pointing where it took off by the Canad in logo.
Just came down a foot or 2 at the end. Should run similar to where he just threw. Maybe a foot
Can I
better.
give you the same weight I just threw, or do you want more?
We think so, Johnny.
Yeah,
We think we can keep that clean.
Should run a foot better here.
Hey, all you, line's fine.
This one's gonna die, guys.
Yeah, this one's gonna curl.
It's gonna die.
Yep.
Weight's good.
Okay, just weight's there. Okay.
Weight's good. Keep.
Stay really close, Tim.
Back out.
T.
No, we're good. We're good.
It's gonna die, guys. Just, so you
Just
know,
keep
it's
it
gonna
going.
die.
We're good.
John Epping's final stone of this second end. A draw bites the 4-foot circle. Epping scores a pair to tie the game at 2-all after 2 ends. Just a few minutes ago, Blair Malistravich had an opportunity to talk with John Epping.
I'm Blair Malistravich. I'm joined by John Epping. John, what are you hoping the outcome is today?
Obviously a W. We would love to make the playoffs tomorrow and be in the quarterfinals. We've lost the A final and the B final, so hopefully 3rd time's a charm.
Now, what's the mindset as you head into this?
You know what? This is the same as every game we play. This is another game, just a little more important because, you know, if we lose, we're out and we have to go home tomorrow. So yeah, just, you know, we want this one bad.
Now, what's sort of the mental prep that you've done?
You know what? This event's kind of interesting because we're a hotel attached. The Canadians, right? It's right attached. So, you know, we just go back to our hotel and our hotel rooms and relax and chat about the upcoming game and try and stay rested because it's been a long week so far.
Nice. So now when we're talking about this, when you're making these moves, you're coming down and traveling. What is that like for an athlete?
You know what? It's tough. It's a tough grind. You know, the travel time. You usually got to fly somewhere and then maybe drive a couple of hours. And those travel days, you know, they do take a lot out of you. So especially when we're at the events, we don't really get a chance to go out and see much of maybe Portage than we'd like to. We have to pretty much take it easy and make sure we stay rested because it could be a long day tomorrow too, right?
Great. Thank you and best of luck.
Thanks so much.
Still more to come on the 2017 Canad Men's Classic.
Welcome back to the Portage Curling Club, the Canad Men's Classic. John Schuster playing John Epping. Schuster scored 2 in the opening end. Epping came back with 2 in the second end. And Maureen, we say a complete duplication of the opening end play. Epping plays a centerline guard with his first rock.
Exactly, and again, no backing down by John Epping. He's going around, going to ask his lead to come around and sit on top of that John Schuster rock that was just spinning the back of the button.
So it promises to be another interesting end, as with the opening end, with draw after draw. Eventually, John Schuster making a pair of delicate shots to score a pair, and Epping not the least bit concerned that the same thing might happen again. And
Good one here, boys.
these guys, generally speaking, don't worry a whole lot about giving up two.
No, it's the way they got their deuce back there at the last end. They made it look very simple. And those were some really, really tough, great shots made.
That's definitely.
So late Tim March makes that perfect draw. Draws to the button in front of the blue Schuster stone. Schuster will jiggle it around a little bit.
Yeah, you get the top, it's fine.
From the way they're calling this game, to me, they're both comfortable with the ice. The ice is being very consistent, because normally, you wouldn't see this aggressive a play that early in the game, but they're both of these teams are very comfortable with the ice. And I think it was John Schuster said the ice has just been great.
Hard, Matt. Hard.
So kudos and hats off to our ice crew here at Portage Curling Club.
Play the guard. Fine.
Still had it.
No, we didn't. Fine, we got a corner and maybe a rock rolling in.
Oh, that's going on the paint.
Yeah. The genius call.
Genius call. Schuster decides to bail out when John Linestander felt like there still was a possibility that he passed the guard, but Schuster felt not, and so rubs the guard off and rolls into the corner of the 12-foot circle, and that was what he called a genius call.
I don't mind if you
Keep it on the
mention
firm side.
You ever thought about guard?
Well,
it's up to you. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
I was thinking we had that.
we don't guard it perfect and they go bump, bump. It's 3 on paint guard.
Okay, hit it.
Just on the firm side of normal, Pat.
Right up.
Patrick Jansen, out-turn hit on the rock.
Firm normal. It's good. Firm normal.
Yep. Hard, Tim. Really hard.
Better watch it here. This is where William Lyburn's team had a miss.
That's good.
Moves up a little bit there.
you're expecting to wait.
It's okay. Well, I really took it. Be careful.
And as a fact, as I recall, Dylan Johnson's team played the other turn in that very same position in our first game.
Out of the corner?
This way, we can do that.
So maybe a little more curl than they're expecting out there in the 12-foot.
We're going to have to play across space, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay. Back here, Matt.
I don't mind either. Just thought maybe we could get that under. Back 12.
Close.
10.
Close.
9. Yep.
Oh.
8 knives.
Yep. Hard then. Hard.
Hurry.
Whoa.
Still 9.
Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa. 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 Yep. Tie.
Roll.
Hard and roll. All right.
Okay.
Sorry.
We hope for just a little bit more roll.
So he's coming down. I think he hoped to have a little more weight on this to get some movement on his shooter across the face of that yellow stone.
Throw firm. You probably keep both yellows.
Just jammed a little bit on him.
Okay.
I think
so
he
firm.
tapped. It's almost frozen, Pat.
Okay. Is that how you try and nose this?
That's pretty good, too.
You don't want to roll because he's going to play the double and roll behind the corner.
Yeah.
Dangerous. It's the best outcome, but it's also the most dangerous. If we play the peel and just push him behind the corner, that's not great either, though.
Yeah, let's go for this.
Okay, I like this.
On the in or out?
Kind of wait, Patty. Is he being called peel?
Calling
Okay. Pin 2/3 with firm.
Firm.
Well, I think John Epping's feeling is that if they hit this yellow just right, they can kill 2 blues and both yellows will stay on the rings.
Yep.
Out-turn hit.
Really
See if he's right.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, whoa.
Hard. Hard, Timmy.
I was picking it.
He was.
He was. So really nice throw here, straight down center line. Needs to get just hair inside.
Yeah, I don't.
Gets
You
both
can't roll
blues
over
out
the
and
top
splits
of it
his
with
yellows
firm and
across
roll
the
out,
house. One yellow or one blue still counting, but their yellow was first and second shot.
Probably set for a double kill. Matt Hamilton out-turn hit up the center line.
Close. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa.
Makes the contact.
Go.
Sorry, Matt.
Okay, bud.
I thought it was hitting. I thought it seemed like it was just coming down.
It looks like it was, yeah, I just called it because it looked like
Screaming. I thought it was going to go bouncing hard. So.
What weight you like?
It's up to you. Control? Normal? Up to you.
What kind of weight?
Control or normal? One of the two.
Control?
Sure.
Control weight will give him a little bit more of a roll. Get across there to that corner yellow guard.
Weight's good.
Whoa. Easy.
Hair solid.
Whoa.
Hair solid.
Stay close. Normal. Whoa.
Needs to hit that run we talked about earlier to get the roll to center.
Whoa.
That's that same shot that Charlie had in the first end.
Sorry. I didn't think that was normal.
Schuster for facing a
That
pair
is
of
more.
yellow Epping stones. We'll draw behind that guard that's just off the center line, a foot and a half off the center line. Behind the guard in front of the rock in the back of the 8 foot.
All I need is full 8.
Line's good.
Plenty of room.
Weight's fine.
Clean it up. 7.
Almost to that, probably.
What?
Line's awful.
Line's terrible too, so just stay with it here.
Doesn't sound like they
Line's
like
good for
it very
three.
much of that.
No.
Go.
A little more.
Hard.
No, we'll just go for the double anyway. It's fine. If we go deeper, it's fine. Yeah, just over half.
Oh, okay. What do you?
I think he had the weight he wanted on that draw. Marini just didn't
punch,
get the
okay.
berry that he wanted,
Yeah.
and now Charlie Thomas.
Should go in there. Just back 12.
Charlie can see about half of that stone. So he's just going to throw down weight, tap it back.
That came up a bit, yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of
He,
wide.
gets that, he probably gets a little roll behind
He
as
was
well.
kind of wide and walked in there at the end.
I mind just an inch more. Yeah. Yep.
Solid.
Whoa. Easy.
Almost half.
Close. Heavy through.
Close.
Hack. Yep. Whoa. Hack, John. Yep. Whoa. Yep. No. Whoa. Tim.
Wow, they just got that by.
Shot, Chuck.
Excellent shot by Charlie Thomas.
And he did get that little, and he didn't roll very far, but he did
Do it.
fade over just a little bit, making that much tougher.
If you only freeze, they got to freeze.
I think
in
they
here
thought
if you
Charlie was a little
So
bit
you
heavy
wanna
on
move
this
it like
shot,
6 inches.
but he
we have
just
to move
gets
it to
by
the
the
shot?
top guard,
If you want to stay mostly
and then
buried,
he
yeah.
keeps sweeping it to
Yeah,
get
you
it.
probably have to freeze here to not
Nose
to be
hits,
shot.
So same weight I
tap
just
the
threw.
blue just out of the rings.
Same line.
Maybe a touch less for Broom now, huh?
Fine, sure.
Tyler George,
Touch more.
Easy,
his
lock
second
through.
stone of the game,
Yeah.
or the end.
Wait only.
Right there.
Whoa. Whoa.
7, 8.
Oh, off.
8.
Close.
8. Whoa. Heavy.
Whoa.
8. Heavy.
Whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Good boy, Jack.
That's a nice shot by Tyler George. Beautiful weight.
Do you want the same as I just threw, or are you going to be
Probably
a little better?
half her board weight, I say. kind of in betweenish.
This rock is a little more hidden than when Charlie Thomas shot, and it's higher up in the house.
Right.
So he'll play the out turn. John Epping comes for a hack. He'll try to tap it out across the face of the two yellows in the back of the 8-foot and roll over into the back corner of the 8-foot. It's going to have 3 or 4 rocks in play, but Schuster's got all of the opportunity because they'll all be behind the tee line.
All be behind the tee line, exactly.
Close. Weight's good.
Yeah. Whoa.
They're heavy.
Whoa. Yeah.
Weight's good. Weight's good.
Hard. Really hard.
Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Pull it, Tim.
Whoa.
Go.
Whoa.
Perfect.
Another fine shot in a sequence of really fine shots.
Really great shots. Just John Epping has such a nice tap out weight. They just follow it all the way down and just tap it out across the face of the back 2 yellow ones, and now they're lying 4.
Lying 4. As we said, they're all back of the tee line. There's no real challenge to John Schuster's team, except for that, as Willie Lyburn referred to earlier in the game, that one miss that you hope you get, and if it happened to be now, that would be
this 4-foot line too. A little bit tricky. If you get a little bit wide on it or a little bit outside, it takes forever to come in. And
John Schuster close shot of this third end, a 2-2 tie.
Little down.
Schuster will have last shot.
Whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
Yes.
Hard.
Hard.
God damn it.
what a shot. Nice shot.
He seemed unhappy, and yet I'm not sure why he would.
Yeah. He just threw a nice controlled tap out weight. They had to wait on this to get to the corner face, inside face of the rock, and just enough beautiful angle onto that back yellow one.
But it does leave Epping the opportunity to draw to it behind cover.
Chuck's the way Chuck threw it makes it.
Think we got to play this with a hair more weight than hack, though?
I don't have all of it. You don't think I can get under with hack?
Yeah. I'm just afraid that if you hit that at all, it takes a lot off.
I think you could make it with hack or board. What were you guys thinking?
I was thinking half. They didn't cross the field so much.
You just need to get it half out of the 8th. Really
Yeah, because we'll be stuck. It's either I got the double or the freeze.
The double looks kind of flat from here. I can't tell.
It's not flat.
I think he has more of the rock than he had the first time he threw it, and it's back behind the tee this time.
So just like 4 feet more than you just threw?
Yeah, solid hack, and we'll get that taken care of.
Like you were well by that, right?
Yeah. Right, okay.
I just like this because we just saw it a couple times, eh?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's there.
So I was thinking, Maureen, if he get by that guard, he bumps the blue, he'll roll it out off the yellow.
Yes.
Hey, bud.
That's why they were trying to see if he could throw actually hack to get some more movement on that rock, because Charlie was concerned that the momentum of the yellow onto blue onto yellow would really dull the blue from moving far enough.
Weight's good. Close. Yeah.
John, I think final stone of the third end.
Solid hack.
Whoa.
Forward.
Whoa. Close.
Tim.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yes.
Hard.
Whoa. You're right. Tim.
Makes the contact, he hits it, it rolls.
Boy.
Epping lies 3.
Wow, what a great shot by John Epping.
What a great sequence of shots by both teams.
Yeah, for sure. John here, he was concerned that he could get to the face of that stone with the weight he was throwing, and he's throwing it just wonderfully here. Enough to tap it back off the face of that yellow one and roll it out of the circle to sit 3, I believe, 3 yellow.
Yeah, I think it's still 14.
And John Schuster with his final stone, a draw for 1. facing 3.
There right now.
Felt good to me.
Whatever you guys think. Not curling yet. Still not curling.
Easy, Matt. Easy based on revs.
Still carrying. Should be good. 14-4. Should be fine. Got it.
John Schuster stone draw stops in the back of the 4-foot circle. Schuster scores 1. John Schuster from Duluth, 3. John Epping from Leaside Club in Toronto, 2 after 3 ends. You're watching the 2017 Canadians Men's Classic from Portage La Prairie. We'll be right back with the 4th end.
Destination Centers, proud to support our community with 10 destination centers in Manitoba.
Tune into Hot Wheels with a Z and go car racing.
This is my 57 GMC Carpenter school bus.
Everything about cars and car culture in Manitoba. Get those RPMs up, take the roof down. Check out all the classic vehicles, learning everything about cars and car culture in Manitoba.
Welcome back to the Portage Curling Club. You're watching the 2017 Canadians Men's Classic. Join the conversation on Shaw TV Winnipeg, on Twitter and Facebook, #CurlingOnShaw. Now back to you guys, Resby and Maureen.
Well, we're back at the 4th end of the John Schuster-John Epping match. It's been a classic so far. Schuster scored a pair in the opening end. Epping scored 2 back on the second end. And then got the force in the third. John Schuster scores a single as the draw to the 4-foot, facing 3 Epping stones. And Maureen, with the exception of a few hits, a hit sequence there in the second end, this has been just a tremendously entertaining draw tap kind of game.
Well, if you're just joining in, you'll want to stay and watch the rest of this game. It has been epic in itself. There's some great shot making here and just phenomenal curling by both teams.
2.
Yep.
Schuster opens this 4th end with the close center guard. Epping goes to the outside corner. Schuster puts up another center guard, maybe a little tighter than he wanted it to be.
Come get some.
Epping will go behind the 2 Schuster guards.
Okay, boys, we saw this 2 ends ago.
Yeah. Yeah, just believe this will come down. You can be there.
Okay.
And as Tim Marsh just said, they saw this draw several times in the second end.
Hard early.
Line's okay.
Wait's there right now, Johnny.
Line's okay. Line's okay. Gonna curl.
Not bad, not bad. We got a curl actually.
Yeah, we're there.
Tee on its own right now. Yeah. Okay.
Back forward.
No, this thing might run.
Just tee back.
Shit.
You just see the weight come off that as it dies in.
Where do you guys want to go?
They go at the end.
Yeah, we just saw his.
Just did not want to come behind that tee line. Gives John Schuster's team the chance to sit on top of that yellow stone.
Second man, Matt Hamilton.
I don't think we're there.
That's good.
Sticking pretty good.
Line's good.
I think we're there. You're good.
Right to the tee, boys. Line's good.
Yep.
Your judge.
Yep.
Line's perfect.
Yep. He's waiting.
All you guys.
He's waiting.
Hard.
Hard, guys. Go, go, go.
Keep going. Come on. That's it. I got it.
Sorry, guys.
All right.
God dang it.
Right from the release, the sweeper said, I don't think it's there.
Or run or double peel.
Well, those rocks are coming into the house, and as soon as they get to the 12-foot res beat, they're just cratering across that center line.
Yeah. Oh, mine ran real good here.
Second man, Patrick Jansen for John Epping. Follow. Same run, the in-turn draw.
Maybe a little shy right now.
I saw it. Take guard.
Just tight guard, baby.
Hard, guys.
Nice close.
Hard.
Not bad.
Hard. Hard looks really light.
Tight.
Keep going. Hard.
Keep going.
You got a chance, boys. Keep hard, go. Keep it going. Hard. Come on. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Nice sweep. Throw.
That's a nice shot.
What's with it? Are you?
The run any good or no?
What's that?
The run any good or no?
The run?
Yeah.
The problem with the run is you hit it just wrong. You pick ours out and leave them lying too guarded.
Well, you play the hack waiter over here, you do the same thing.
No, I understand, but at least this one stays.
How
I mean, you
about
can
the
freeze
freeze?
here too.
Can we freeze the yellow of the draw?
Probably, but it's just leaving. You could even tap this, honestly, but.
I kind of like the run and stay high.
What's that?
A lot of arm action going at the other end there.
If that's what you like.
Trying to get the message to your skip.
You're never going to hit that one out of the house.
So like through the house?
Yeah, just back line.
He wants to play in that same
tight.
run
If you
that
rub
they've
the
been
guard, I don't
playing, a
think it's the
little
end of the
bump on
world.
the yellow, get a rolled center line and push the yellow into the back
How
of
much
the
are you
rings,
missing
maybe
here,
3.
Matt? Like a third?
Like none.
Okay, back line.
Yeah.
Not sure Matt Hamilton is totally committed to this shot.
Yeah,
And,
I don't think he was looking at the run back, I think, and clearing something.
Well, heavy.
This is...
Yep.
Yes!
Hard! Whoa. I don't know what to do. Yep.
I kind of had 2 shots in mind there.
Sure.
Roll it off.
Because we're going to expose this, but
Yeah.
Either that or hit and roll in off the
Draw
top
behind
one,
the
behind the
corner.
corner. The tight guard.
Yeah, I don't think that's that bad.
it's how you just try and stick this here with kind of board and roll over here. And then but it's all in for him to make the freeze.
Yeah. I'm good with either of those. Either that board or the draw. I like them both.
You like that?
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
Board, Pat, half a rock with board.
Okay.
Just board.
An interesting dynamic, Maureen, when a spare plays with a guy who's a respected skip as well. That maybe more consultation than there might be sometimes, but you know you're consulting with a guy who has a perspective as well.
Just board.
For sure. He's got a lot of his own experiences playing these shots into the house, and I think he realizes that blue stone has to be moved. It's just, it's too good in there.
Gets the tap exactly the way he wanted it. Wanted to bump the blue out through the back of the 8-foot, leave yellow first and second, although as he said, it does leave Schuster the opportunity for the draw. Or as Schuster says, we can play this double.
You got enough, right, or no?
In fact, the double might be a triple.
I mean, since this is out counting that, if you make this, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, you ever hit this too thin and stack it, we're dead.
Yeah, I think we freeze.
Yeah, that's fine.
They didn't need my help there. They came to the right shot on the arm. This is definitely the call.
Yeah, with the make, well, the make versus the awful miss are about this far apart on that shot.
Right.
All right, lock it up.
You heard it. Lock it on.
So it's third man Tyler George. He'll play an out turn draw, and it has to be a near perfect or perfect freeze.
Easy. Stay with it. No water.
8-9 would indicate it's a little bit heavy.
Looks like I'm
Likely back 8 foot.
Starting to walk.
a lot close.
Trying.
Oh, close.
It's all there.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
I know it.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Trying to keep it in, man. Good. Shot. 8-9. Come on.
We might go 8 here.
Well, he didn't get the freeze he wanted, but that's a pretty good shot.
What happens after the 6th? Do we stay out here? Do we keep going?
I think it's 10 games. Whoever's winning after 6.
Poor sweepers are damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. If they don't say a number, what was the number? If they do say a number, they're criticized it was wrong.
2/3?
Yeah, almost what you can see.
Okay.
Charlie Thomas gets set to make this shot. They look over a sheet, and Dylan Johnson, who we watched this afternoon, has just blanked 2 ends and then scored 2 on the 3rd to take a 2-point lead on the Kim team, the Korean Olympic team.
Here, solid. Wait
Close.
close.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Charlie Thomas out turned.
Whoa.
And those blanked ends on that sheet 4 are no indication of no rocks in play. They have had rocks in play over there.
Okay.
Good.
Charlie rolls things around a little bit, and with Epping having last stone, laying 2nd, 3rd, and 4th shot stone at this moment in time, Schuster really needs to get the right shot in the right place here.
You got a big area to roll to where it's pretty good, but you can't hit it too thin.
That rock is dead buried. I mean, they can dig it out, but there's nothing on either side.
I know.
Schuster's looking at all the yellows in the house and starting to get a little bit worried.
No, you'd have to throw it really hard to even get close. You're not going to get to the top of it.
Okay, I don't want to move the blue rock, so
No.
let me see what the roll is off this one here.
I mean, if you wanted to, you could play this double back here.
Then he's just bumping to sit
He's
too.
welding it, and then we're back in the same. But then
I don't mind
he
this
welds,
one.
and I have this double then.
Yeah, I don't mind that one.
What's that, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Still got to throw it kind of hard.
Yeah,
I guess not.
Firm right over the top. It's got. Like I said, you can get all the way to here.
That's still okay, yeah. But we're just playing firm like this, right?
Yeah. I think you could do it normal if you wanted to.
If you cross it a little bit, it's good because then your run in is still going to this thing.
But then you could probably make it with normal too.
Yeah, let's just go solid normal.
Solid. Okay. You're going this way at it though? I think we have to.
I don't know. I can see it easy on the side.
All right.
So he just didn't want to play the one on the edge of the 4-foot marine. He's going out to the 8-foot to roll, hopefully, roll into the top of the 4-foot behind the center guard.
That was kind of my first choice, was the hit and roll across. The double on the other side was a little bit more risky, but I like this. He's got a lot of places to roll with this rock.
Come on, stop it.
Whoa.
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 No.
Whoa.
No.
Whoa.
Get off.
You do not want to hit and stick there. Oh, wow.
Darn sure don't want to pick the blue one out. That was Schuster's opinion that they should throw the out turn at that. But Tyler George said, no, there's lots of room. I can get by. And there was lots of room, but he couldn't get by.
You might have to play the out.
What's that?
So he threw the
How about this?
in turn just next to the outside guard, which he did get fortunate to get the yellow in the back to be 1st and 3rd, but
very, very lucky he didn't pick his own blue out. He had
Very
that
lucky.
one buried on the button, and if he just rubs it an inch, it makes this so much simpler for Charlie Thomas.
Yeah.
Stick in the out, but whatever you like.
Sure, yeah, I'm good with that. Whatever you're seeing, Chucky. You've seen the intern here too. So.
No, I'm not.
So this is a shot that you would not see at the club level played, hitting your own stone onto the opponent's stone to get it out of there. Seldom do our club games require us to hit our own rocks out when we don't call those shots.
We're never sure we'll hit our own, hit the other guy's rocks, let alone our own. Charlie Thomas, out-turn hit. He'll spring off the yellow rock on the edge of the forefoot to remove the Schuster stone on the button.
Hardness, Pat. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay.
Didn't quite bounce as hard as he wanted it to. Got it maybe a little bit thick.
The third.
My speculation, the Schuster blue stone is still shot stone.
I believe so.
Epping sits in front of it, biting the button.
What are we hitting? This is thin
So he
half?
threw it straight down,
Third seems
out-turn.
good, thin half's good. Double.
Hit it a little thick, and it just rolled on top of
thin
the
half,
Schuster shot stone.
Yeah. Hopefully this one's a ties this round. I didn't think he did anything to it in the rank ready this week.
John Schuster, his first stone of the fourth end.
Whoa.
And he's trying the same shot
Stay with it though.
that
Watch the
Tyler
roll.
George was calling.
No,
play.
Hard, start,
No,
go.
no, gotta go. Gotta go.
All right, well,
It's all right.
That in-turn hit ran straighter both times than they expected it to.
You know, if he'd
Although
made
they
that,
had the big weight. So.
yeah, if he'd made this double, it would have turned this end entirely around from yellow to blue. He just got it thick and didn't get it to roll in as far as he wanted to.
What's his shot if like off of there?
It actually went further than I thought it was going to out of your hand, too. Thought we were going to be fighting to get that in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yours will come in nice, eh?
Yeah. Even if it's just a hair high, it's okay. A little more.
Button, essentially, eh?
John Epping electing to draw down, just tack his yellow stone onto the blue stone on the in-turn side.
Looking for like T-line weight?
Yeah. A little more.
Epping has last rock in this fourth end. This is his first of two stones.
Button.
Yeah.
Hey, room right now.
Forward. Yep. Whoa.
Room.
Back forward, back E.
Whoa. Room. Whoa.
Back button. Whoa. Back button.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Line's getting better if the weight's good.
Whoa. Back forward. Back forward.
Yep.
T.
Yep. Yep.
Didn't get the bend that they had earlier.
No, it just wasn't that sweeping weight to get it to curl in there.
I mean, even if I beat it, I beat it as too. It's really tough.
Yeah, just throw it hard and I won't get cute with it.
No, I mean, if we just miss this, we might paper it.
Even if you touch it, like I said, the
No, I
momentum's
understand.
taking
Yeah,
it that way.
Throw the left side. Put it on the middle of the rock. I'll throw it like I just threw it.
Okay.
Middle of the rock, Jack.
How quickly this end has turned around, eh, Resby? It was like 4 yellows in there at one time, and now there could be 4 blues sitting in there after this shot.
Schuster's playing the hit. I don't think he wants to be too fancy with it. He thinks that there's the possibility of moving both of them, but for sure he hits the one on the nose that his broom is in front of, and John Epping has trouble scoring too.
Right to it!
Attaboy.
Good stone. Springs off the blue, kills both yellows.
I saw it like
Got
T
lots
back
of weight
cutting the
here
whole
on
way
this
there.
shot, straight down on the in-turn side. And they let it just run into those 2 yellows, actually hit the blue before he hit the yellows, and both yellows go squirting out.
So in a mirror image of end number 3, when Schuster had to draw facing 3, now John Epping has to draw facing 3.
Got back 4 on this one.
He's got a little bit of backing, but he's got to have a
Back
better
4
shot.
now. Room right now. Back 4. Yep. Whoa, wait on me, wait on me. Back 4. Yep.
Can't hurt it.
Yep. All the way, Tim, yep.
They'll bring it right to the Schuster shot stone on the back of the button. John Epping scores a single point. Score 3-3.
Curl a
A
little
deuce
more
and
for
a
you?
single for Schuster,
Yeah.
a deuce and a single for Epping. And as we
do you
go to
think
our
it-
fourth end break, it is 3-3 in our game at the Canadians Classic in Portage La Prairie. Coming up, Blair Malistravich will have interviews with both skips. You're watching the 2017 Canadians Men's Classic from Portage on Shaw TV and Shaw Direct.
Tavern United, a new world sports pub. With a wide selection of sporting events televised at our 8 locations in Manitoba. Tavern United, your destination for great sports all the time.
All right, I'm Blair Malistravich, and I'm here down with both skips. Let's go to John Epping first. Let's talk about that last end.
Yeah, you know, a couple of breaks kind of both ways maybe. I think we probably played a little bit of a better end. We should have got a couple out of that, but we'll take our one.
Now, how do you feel about going into the next half?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, I think it's anybody's game at this point. 4 ends to go. Yeah, I mean, we'll battle hard, and if it ends up our side, they're playing well right now too, so we'll have to be better.
You know, I gotta say, when I'm watching, I can see you guys have that competitive edge while you're talking and you're concentrating. But you also, I see you smiling a lot and having a good time. Why is that important?
Well, I think, you know, we do this every week, and we don't do this for a living. I wish we did, but we don't. So I mean, we're you know, we really enjoy it, and we enjoy being out there and competitive. Being competitive is what's fun.
All right, thanks so much. Best of luck.
Thanks so much.
All right, John, how you doing?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So definitely a very interesting first half. What are you hoping for the second half?
You know, same thing. We just got to keep getting good rocks in good positions, and when we get an opportunity, we got to seize it and try to score multiples out of that and get forces out of that too. So just got to keep after the game.
Now, what was the reaction when the rock came through and they cleared it to 1?
Oh, just where? The last one?
Yeah.
It was, I mean, we were pretty sure the shot was makeable, and as it was coming down the ice, it looked pretty good. So it was, it just always feels good to make, you know, big shots.
Now, how does the team feel right now?
I think the team's feeling great. We're just looking forward to these last 4 ends and hopefully get a W and keep playing tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much. You're watching the 2017 Canadians Men's Classic.
Hello, who's this? Oh, it's Chloe. Chloe has an idea she wants to share with the world. She picks up her camera, she shoots her video.
Hey, where do frogs keep their money? At the riverbank.
And finally she edits her masterpiece. Chloe then sends her video to Shaw TV where it can be aired on community producers. It's just that easy. If you want to be like Chloe, email us at createtv@shaw.ca. Community producers, every fortnight on Shaw TV.
Canadians Destination Centers, proud to support our community with 10 destination centers in Manitoba.
Welcome back to the Portage Curling Club, the Canadians Classic for 2017. We've got a classic on our hands, Maureen. A 3-3 game. The score mirrors Schuster with a 1 and a 3 in the odd numbered ends. Epping with a 2 and a 1, I should say. Don't know where the 3 came from. 2 and a 1. And then Epping 2 and 1 on the even number ends, and as they said in the interview, they're just going to keep going at it.
For sure, they both seem really comfortable in where they're at and happy with their play, and so I think they're just willing and able to go forward with the same kind of strategy.
The fifth end opened with John Epping throwing the center line guard. John Schuster asks his lead, John Landsteiner, to play behind the guard, and he goes full 8 foot. Can't see for sure, perhaps biting the 4 foot, but for sure full 8 foot on the center line. This is the second shot of the end for the Epping team. Tim March, a draw.
Thank you, Phil.
To the center line, I think a little shorter than he would have wanted to be, Maureen.
Yeah, for sure.
I think so.
What?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Do you think there's more room this way, though?
I think that's probably a little better path.
Yeah.
8, 7, 8. Easy. I think that's pretty good. 73. I don't know. Stay with it. It's coming down. It's coming down hard here.
Back to the tee line.
It's an 8 right now.
It's perfect.
Yeah, you just keep judging it.
Pass the tee.
Looks okay.
It's an 8.
It's got to be a little better in full 12.
Looks like it's got to
Yeah,
be.
don't.
Just full 12's great.
Right.
Perfect. Attaboy.
The second draw of the end by John Landsteiner, behind the tee line, full in the 12-foot circle.
83, 73.
And Epping asks Patrick Jansen to play a draw, probably to the blue stone. Is that what he's asking for in the ring?
I think so. Corner
You say where it's going to be, and then you just like walk away. Well, that's because we're absolutely sure where it's going to go. I'm just saying, you make me nervous.
Epping scored a single in the 4th end, so remember that John Schuster throwing the blue stones will have last rock in this end.
Really looks
Tight
like...
guard. Tight guard.
Okay.
Just past half.
Okay.
Not sure what happened there, if it was just thrown a little light or...
Yeah, I don't think I threw 6.
I don't think you did either.
I thought they were better than that.
I thought you boosted too, yeah.
Because they're going to do it if we don't.
Yeah, yes.
Good peel the top one, too. Let's go here, then.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they coming around ours, though, if we do that?
What's that?
Are they coming around ours if we do that?
They come around ours anyways.
I think we got to go top 4 there, John.
Could we?
You want to go? Okay,
Can we just get
right here,
like 6 inches past that one?
Yeah,
okay.
Fine. They're still just freezing the pocket, but we line too, though.
Yeah, well, I don't think we got a choice.
I love their communication between Tyler George and John Schuster.
Very clear communication.
If it's a little slower, that's short.
Yeah. They do want this draw.
Perfectly clear.
They do want this draw to be better than the blue Schuster stone that's in the 8-foot circle.
Just to the yellow.
But it's not going to be. In fact, he's going to rub the outside or that center line guard.
Oops.
They now set up a double, making it easier to get to that blue stone.
It rolls wide open.
Is there an option for triple here, Resby?
Even a possibility, yeah. Patrick Jansen, the intern hit. Yes, if he hits the one that he hits onto the one in that 8-foot, it could spring off and take the one out of the back as well. Bang, bang.
Oh, it was there if he just got it a little thicker. You can see it coming down here. He just straightened out for him on the end. Out to the outside.
I kind of resisted
got
that
it
one
too
anyways.
thick and ended up staying in the 12-foot.
You don't quite want to bury it.
If he'd got a little closer to the center of that blue stone, he very easily could have got the triple out of that.
For sure.
But the result is that John Schuster and his team from Duluth
think the
lie a
weight's
pair
good.
out in a 12-foot
Go
circle.
farther out, Steiner.
And Matt Hamilton is asked to draw. He'll want to get to the top of the 4-foot circle.
Very if he can.
Better, close.
Don't switch. Don't switch.
No.
Oh, just over. Yep.
No.
And he's got a beauty.
Okay, that's fine, Matt.
That's fine. I was thinking if we're going to be
Puts it right back where it was before.
Side, so there's no double coming off.
Well, it would have been so high that it probably wouldn't have been anyways. Though. I mean, it would have been biting 8s.
Epping calls for Charlie Thomas.
Yeah, how can the 8
Follow that blue stone. He'd like to just actually get cornered on it.
14-5 is still be close to 2. I got 14-7 on that one. All right, I'll give you that 15 then.
Want to go a bit? Gotta go, Teddy. Just tight.
Yep.
Thomas's first rock of this 5th end.
Yep. Weight's pretty good. Yep.
Hard.
Yep.
Close. Hard. You gotta go line. You gotta really go line. Whoa. Okay.
Stover curls and rubs a bit.
His weight was perfect for the corner freeze.
Hack.
Yeah, he's trying to hit nose, or are we trying to roll?
I think a little roll's good.
How many can he lose if we know?
You can roll dead buried.
Well, if we leave it right there, he's got to hit, because if he plays the freeze this way, I run that one in.
Yeah, I thought, this is my initial thought was nose.
I think nose is good.
Okay. So you want to throw board or half?
Okay. Well, if we're playing nose, I like board.
Okay. Thinking like there?
You know what? Let's play hack, John.
You like that room or you want more?
For hack?
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
Hack it is.
It's pretty good.
Whoa.
Whoa. Stabbed it. Whoa.
Right off.
I think he pushed that a bit.
Yeah, he said he stabbed it, which means he pushed it out.
The risk here that if he's got the weight he wanted, that he bumps the yellow in onto the blue.
I don't. No, well.
Jeez.
Yeah.
He will not be happy with that.
And all of a sudden, an end that was very much going John Schuster's way has turned completely the other way, and John Epping now has an opportunity to solidify that one, bump it up a little bit.
Is that top yellow out counting anything?
I don't know. Think you're trying to bury back 8.
Okay.
Right, you can't make the double off that.
Can he, are you saying?
Can he, if you go back 8 here?
Maybe. Probably.
What if we just nose double those outside blues?
You can make that.
Why?
You can make that triple if you want.
Why?
You can make that triple if you want.
Okay.
Oh, I guess if you can hit in the hair high. And you hit that with nose and
Making a play on that 4, right?
Yeah.
And
The situation calls for a close consultation.
Yes.
I just loved it if you could get there and just
I know.
make it
way up behind them anyways.
full 8 back here. It's perfect.
You thinking with this?
What's that? I was thinking out.
I think they're looking at the top 12-foot yellow stone. The Schuster team can play on that stone and possibly double the yellows off.
Do you like trying one of your little boom spin up?
There it's gone. Yeah, and this is just jamming.
And the other danger is coming around on the outturn draw. You might set up the double the other way.
Exactly. Or a bump and roll behind all of those center guards, or
That might change things.
Well,
now.
it really does change things for sure.
I did pick up the call for the boom and
counting
spin.
that one, I'd like
Did you
to
hear
draw.
that?
Yes.
Not familiar with that.
For counting that one.
Well, no, then you hit even
I
more.
can visualize it, but
Yeah.
Almost like a round-the-clock kind of spinorama. Hit the high one off the lower one and then spin in, up.
Effectively rolling straight across, bite the top of the button more or less, or bite the button.
You do? Okay, well then play this, Chuck. That's fine. Play this. Just move it in. Okay. Heel. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with staying right there, is it?
No, nothing at all. It just takes them out of play and keeps your shot.
Really? Heel, Charlie. You like that, eh? Yeah.
Sometimes it's just as easy to hit the open one.
Yeah. Charlie Thomas throw. In-turn hit at that trio of rocks in the outside 12 foot. Nose hit, little bump sideways, kills 3.
The replay on this shot by Charlie Thomas is through very firm weight, hits it right in the middle of those 2 blue stones, and everything goes flying
Pretty close.
out.
It might be us, actually.
Yellow lays 2.
How much of this you got now?
Half.
I think you're just going like this anyways.
Okay.
I mean, you could probably make the double and get it by here.
I think we're just rolling.
You just want to roll?
Well, the double probably jams, doesn't it?
Fine. No, it goes by it.
How thick
Probably
we
a
have to
third
hit?
of a rock to jam it, and it's probably half rock to make the double. So you probably got to hit what you can see. But like I said, this is fine too, Ty.
Whatever you think.
It's normal.
Okay.
Unless you'd rather throw a control and make sure we stay.
I'm fine with either.
Throw control, Ty.
Okay.
Tyler George looking at a double kill. What you heard in the middle of all that, John Schuster says he thinks it's possible that their blue rock in the back of the 12 foot is beating out the one, the Yellowstone in the top of the 12 foot. So a double kill would actually be them laying 2.
Well, he said it doesn't jam on the backside one, but I was kind of worried about it. Just got it by. It was a pretty good shot.
I think they'll be looking very closely to see which one is second shot.
You see it come down here, you know, after he basically inside out that first shot, he made sure he threw this very clean. Comes down here and just hits as much of the yellow one he can see and rolls towards the side yellow one and pushes it off to the side 12 foot.
Gradual, hey, nothing. Yeah.
All 3 of them are like ridiculous.
And we just heard that comment. All 3 of them were. Came down to it, they'd be measuring all 3 to see which one is second stone. John Epping, first rock of the fifth stand.
Whoa! No!
Wanting to get a little hit and roll here.
No! 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 Yep! Yep! Whoa! Do this, he's drawing, right? He has no choice.
Oh, this one's probably O'Connor Mall now, though.
I don't know.
Maybe not. No, they're really close. Do you think we draw anyways? Draw it.
I mean, you're playing for 2, then you're yeah, you're probably.
Maybe I can make the hit and roll, and then maybe 3's in the equation. That's the only thing. But the roll.
Well, he's drawing if you make the hit and roll.
Edge of this rock here. I think it's good.
How deep do you want to go?
Even up, right?
Yeah, just to here, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, he's decided to draw in here. He's going to have to draw with his last one anyway because there are 2 yellow stones counting. So they must think the second stone is yellow.
Part of his logic as well, Maureen, would be that if he played a hit and roll and didn't make a perfect roll, he may be giving Epping something else to work with.
Yeah.
14-3 stop.
So he'll take the aggressive action and
Draw.
full 8 foot. He's made this. His team has made this shot several times. They say that rock that's just nearly bit the button each time, or it bit the 4 foot each time.
Set.
Pretty good app.
John
Six.
Schuster's
Good app.
first
Lot of
stone.
room,
The
too.
American team
Line.
does have last
Room.
rock this end.
Lots of room. Line's okay,
It's a
though.
3-3 tie.
Lots of room.
He added a bit to this
Matt,
as he
it's always
slid
your
out.
rock. Always you, Matt. Always you, Matt.
Go deep. Just go deep.
Yep. Far back as you can go and be shot.
When
Keep
you
going.
add that
Never-
on, it
go,
kind
go,
of sometimes
go,
takes
go,
it out
go,
off
go.
the line of
All right. Sorry, guys.
your target.
Too much ice. I'm giving you ice way more than that, and it's going all the way across center.
So if you're John Epping, do you draw down to there or do you tap it back?
Well, if you play the draw to it or tap it, you're basically playing to give Schuster one, aren't you? Is there a way that you can still think about trying to set up a steal or create a steal?
I think he's trying to decide what to roll.
I think nose is pretty darn good.
Thinking if he stays there,
Just
forces the one.
Put it beside it for me. Go back a bit. Go back a bit. Oh. Yeah, a little less. A little less.
Back?
Hey, bud.
That looks like tap out weight or ice in that broom target.
John Epping,
Change,
one of the
yep.
fifth inning. His final. John Schuster
Whoa,
have the last one.
Whoa!
No.
Whoa!
No.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
No.
Overthrew it.
Okay, it's good.
Epping lies at least 2.
Good call, Pat.
You suggested he was already lying 2 there a moment ago, Maureen, but I'm going to say he lies at least 2.
Sorry. It's good.
You're so smart.
Yeah, I'm just more cautious.
But 3.
So now it really is a case, isn't it? Do you think the blue stone is beating those other 2? In which case you play a straight hit double.
I mean, I can't
for
stuff
2.
this. As long as I hit and stay.
Yeah, how good are your eyes?
We're scoring, right? Yeah.
That's when you call the youngest one on the team to come down and take a look at that.
I mean, yes.
But I think you'd call it, wouldn't you call it a routine? You know, if you think there's a chance even that you're going to measure that blue against the other 2 yellows, wouldn't you play the double and, you know, to lie one? If you're playing for one anyway, you know, play the double to lie the one with the chance that the measure goes your way?
For sure.
Just about dead beat.
If you're confident that it's that close.
I would think so. This has got to take that chance and hope that you might get 2 out of it.
I think it's worth it.
I think it is.
I mean, in PK, you get your 2 anyway.
Yeah, no matter where we hit it, as long as we stay.
Matt Hamilton thinks it's worth the risk.
Thinks it's worth the risk.
Even if we dead wreck it in
But
there,
he's been willing to take a few risks all day that John hasn't agreed with. So. John Schuster. Play a straight hit, try to kill a pair, and then they'll measure to see who's got second stone.
Hard! Snyder, go!
On the other
Right,
hand,
do it! Whoa! Go! All right.
okay, well, he makes the double.
And got a nice roll that he didn't really
Didn't need that roll this time.
No.
But Schuster has one. They'll measure 2 yellows against a blue for second stone.
No, I think that's second. That's third. If I had to bet. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I think this is
Yeah, I think that one and that one.
Yeah. What do you think of the blue? I think that one too. I think you're right, Pat.
It's like you said.
The one on the far right? Yeah, I think it's the yellow. But we'll see how good the hole is. Okay. Really looks like this is bad apple.
Yeah. He thinks the top one's
Okay, so the needles moved about 10
It's crazy.
points.
I'm almost certain of that one.
Oh, you want me to measure? Oh.
I think we can infer from all of that the yellow was second shot. John Schuster and his team from Duluth score a single point, making the score 4-3 after 5 innings. We'll be right back with coverage of the 6th end of the Canadians Classic game between John Epping and John Schuster in the 2017 Canadians Men's Classic on Shaw TV and Shaw Direct.
Tavern United, a new world sports pub. With a wide selection of sporting events televised at our 8 locations in Manitoba. Tavern United, your destination for great sports all the time.
4-3, John Schuster of Duluth, Minnesota over John Epping of the Leaside Club in Toronto in the evening match at the Canadians Classic at the Portage Curling Club. We won't say it was a unique strategy in this 6th end because we're pretty sure, Maureen, that John Schuster didn't play his first rock through the rings.
No, I don't think so.
However, John Landsteiner did throw heavy, slid through, and has given John Epping the opportunity to set up the corner guard.
Two. Fine.
One miss like that, Maureen, changes the way the skip has to think about the end.
For sure.
Guys rock.
He has to go back to putting that tight guard.
Pretty close.
Keep an eye on it, Johnny.
Yeah, I can't judge.
Ice rocks for the crap. You can't hurt it. Me and Ty could.
Look at that skip sweep. That's impressive.
Might burn it, maybe.
He must be just feeling a little bit chilly out there. He thought he should warm up a little bit. He does get the center line guard right on the Canadian logo, and John Epping, as he has done all game with that guard in play, plays with Tim Marsh to go around the outside to the center line, and he'll want to be in
We're
the
there right
front
now,
of the 4
Johnny.
foot.
Yeah, line might get a little tight, guys.
Certainly a part of the
Not
team.
terrible, though.
Yeah,
If you can,
you gotta
Charlie.
go, you gotta go.
If you can, Charlie.
You gotta go!
Hard!
Go, Charlie.
Hard!
Come on, guys, come on! I think we've misjudged this. It's definitely heavy. He's boosting us big time.
Maybe just under through that a little bit.
I thought you gave that a lot.
I did too, and I thought I got out to the broom.
Yeah.
There you hear it. He thought he threw it pretty good, so maybe it just lost its handle.
Or maybe he was just wrong this one time.
Or maybe he was just wrong. Let's give that one to the ice maker.
Yeah. Matt Hamilton playing around those guards, and he does exactly as Tim Marsh did. The over curled, came up too quick, perhaps underthrown, leaving Epping the opportunity now to play the draw, and he's playing past his own rock, so if it over curls, has the advantage at least that he taps his own stone. Not to suggest that even in his consideration, but those last 2 rocks suggest that they need to think a little bit about the way they're playing this shot.
Well, they're taking a little bit more ice here just to make sure.
Yeah, I'd like to go on that.
There's a second Patrick Jansen.
Not bad right now.
Take guard.
Yeah, I want to go.
We got a chance.
Hard, Timmy! Go, boys. Go, boys. You got a chance. Chance my rock. My rock. I got it. Go, Johnny. Go, Johnny. Keep it going, buddy. Keep it going. Keep it going.
They carried that rock a long way.
You like big?
Yeah, with the T-line weight, that rock was going to be fully buried, wasn't it? So.
I think so.
Schuster calls for Matt Hamill.
You want more? That's a tough draw going way out there.
To run the guard. And Matt, who's wanted to hit all day, now says, shouldn't I draw? Intern hit up the center line. Wants to run yellow onto yellow.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
That straightened out.
What, Matty?
Got okay. Still left a front guard for Epping to go around.
A few more?
Threw this straight up. Intern straight on nose. Just clips the 12-foot Yellowstone out of the house.
A little more, hey?
A few more.
Still gotta go. Keep it going.
Waist close, waist good. Top 8. T.
Running. Slow.
We're there, we're there, we're there. T. We're there.
Really,
Back 8, back 8.
running really straight. Why are you I got 13.9. Yeah, keep it going, Chuck. Good call. Good call. Keep it going. Okay, Matt.
Well, they knew they needed that little more weight on the after the first draw
wanna
of
throw this,
Patrick
sir?
Johnson, but he put a little too much on it, and it's now given an opportunity to the
I mean,
Schuster
we
team.
can, I guess.
What's that?
I guess we
might be better
can.
ice over there, but we played enough here where it should be okay now.
It's a bit of a tough spot to throw to. Your weight has to be so perfect in line too. It just seems to be really, really sensitive along here if you just throw it a little bit light.
5.
Okay,
Like
it's got to
a
be
lot
full 8 foot. Line's good. Lot of room. Lots of room.
Just 5 right now.
Holy cow. Matt, Matt's is yours.
It's not
Looks
good
heavy
at
from
all.
here. Looks heavy from here. I mean, it's 13.7. Probably heavy.
Really?
So those first 2 or 3 draws of this end seem to trick them a little bit, Maureen, because these last 2 have both been overthrown.
That picked up that much speed now?
I thought he threw it really well.
Good.
Just a little bit heavier, and it just hangs out there.
13.7.
So like it's 14.5. Yes, 14.5, 7.5 to T. Yeah. Back 4. Back 4.
Stay close. Heavy.
T. Stay close.
Wait's good. Whoa. Yeah.
Line only.
Yeah.
Charlie Thomas,
Hard.
intern draw in the same spot that we've been playing in the last few shots, but this one's going to overcurl.
Gotta go. Go, buddy.
Wow, and he had great weight on that. They just can't find the magic spot in that.
Yeah, it's just the difference between the weight that was going to come into the front of the rings and a little deeper, and the difference between that and the back of 8 foot is the amount of swing it had on
A
it.
touch less, but I mean, I'm afraid if it gets inside that line, it's just going to
3 tries for a quarter here, Resby.
I'm trying to throw like, I think if I throw like 2 feet less, even it's going to turn over.
If you throw 5 feet less, we can still sweep at 5 feet.
I just don't want it to go down that slope. Yeah.
Tyler George, he'll try to thread the needle to put one on the front of the forefoot.
Lots of room.
Perhaps bite the button.
Lots of room.
It's all weight dependent, isn't it, Maureen?
Totally. Such a
Right off.
touchy spot. This looked a little heavy out of his hand. It's just hanging out there.
What is going on?
Bunking it on the nose almost.
You can hear the frustration in their
That what
voice.
is going on comment, that's got them a little frustrated. Charlie Thomas, they'll go to the other side, play the
I
out-turn
got a
draw, try to
13.6
thread the
for the
needle on
house
that
over
side.
here.
Okay, you thinking the same or a little more for weight?
I think it's 3 feet slower on this side.
Okay, so you just want 3 feet more than I just threw, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
I think we can get away with a little more
I
here,
was gonna
John.
say, it doesn't look like enough ice.
Yeah. Like they're not having a problem coming in at the end. Right?
Yeah.
You got it. Just a little more.
Charlie Thomas, the last of the third stones on the sixth end.
Oh, a little heavy.
I like it.
T.
Yeah.
That's going to
Don't
go.
want to.
That's just going sideways.
Top four.
Whoa. Whoa.
Copy.
Yeah. Hard.
Yeah.
Hard. Bounce it, Tim. Bounce it. Whoa, whoa. Okay.
Recognizing that he would be losing weight as that took off,
right,
he was still a little late from what he was trying to be.
I'll tell you what you guess.
I just timed that hog to hog and it was
here,
14-3, so
And we can hammer it
the
if we
weight
need
should
to.
be
Right.
close
It's gotta
there.
get there
Just
first,
getting to
yeah.
the curl a little quicker.
Mine intern's been running pretty straight too.
Yeah, it has.
So now John Schuster, his first stone in this end. He has the opportunity after a tremendously well played first five ends. This sixth end hasn't gone quite as well for either team, but both still have opportunities. John Schuster will play a draw. He'll play a tap to push that Tyler George stone into the 8-foot circle. Closer to the 4, he can get the better.
Hey, done.
Well, if they can't get this one to go, they might consider hitting and rolling.
Whoa. 6. Yeah. Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. Hard at the 6. Go.
Got good line, and they're able to hold it straight, so he is going to get that
Hard. Go,
tap.
Matt. Go, Matt. Go. Keep going. Keep
8
going.
foot, bite
Keep going.
4 foot, full 4 foot, bite button.
Nice shot.
That's an outstanding shot. And
They found the line finally.
after that sequence of failed attempts by both sides, that it's a good shot.
All the way down, he had this made. They're just sweeping it to maintain the line, and it's got beautiful weight. Just taps this rock, angles it behind the 3 blue guards, and just full 4 foot, totally buried.
Leaving Epping's only choice being a out-turn hit. He wants to hit just off the center line side of the high side of the yellow stone that Charlie Thomas just threw.
Whoa, whoa, no, whoa, no.
This should run pretty straight here with weight.
No, whoa, no, whoa, no, no, no.
Well, that was an interesting result, Maureen. I don't think they would have predicted that that was going to go quite that way.
No, that was unfortunate. It jammed on the back. He just hung this rock out to the outside all the way down. Didn't hit it thick enough. Angled it right on the top of the blue stone. Got it out, but then it jams on his back, his own back rock, and leaves the blue sitting one.
Blue is John Schuster, the team from
I don't think
Duluth.
so.
They'll
I think
play
there's a good chance it's stealing.
the same
without,
shot.
I mean, it's the same tap it just made.
Play the same shot he just made, he says.
Well, they've got the line now, so.
He can make it, but we're just going to make this. All we got to do is tap it into the 8 foot. Tap it to the button.
The only fortunate thing with John Epping jamming is that that rock is in the back 8 foot. So there is some room to get in there with a stone.
Yep, hard. Hard line.
Gotta go.
Hard!
Hard.
Still got it. Gotta go, though.
Hard. Come on, guys. Come on, keep going.
Never off!
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay. Good enough. Okay. Think.
That's such a
Good enough for second shot.
That's good enough, eh?
Schuster didn't have the pure delivery that he had in the first shot.
So they swept this all the way down, trying to maintain the line to angle it in behind those 3 guards out front, but it just curled, over curled. A little bit heavy because it hit it dead straight. And it's back 12 foot for 2.
You gonna be okay out here or a couple feet?
John Epping, final stone of the 6th end. He'll play the simple tap. He's got to tap this yellow one a little bit corner ways. It's got to be full 8 foot
Clean, back 12.
in order to
This
score
isn't that
a single
easy.
point.
Yeah, sorry, Resby. This isn't that easy of a shot. They haven't really got a good read on any of these rocks down this side. So.
Yep. Whoa, we're heavy. Whoa.
Gets the bump.
Gotta sit down.
A little too much. John Schuster steals a single point. Schuster leads 5-3 over John Epping after 6 completed ends. We will be right back with coverage of the 7th end from Portage in the Canadians Classic on Shaw TV and Shaw Direct.
Tavern United, a new world sports pub. With a wide selection of sporting events televised at our 8 locations in Manitoba. Tavern United, your destination for great sports all the time.
Catch the action on Shaw TV for both the men's and women's finals in the 10th annual DeKalb Superspiel from the Morris Curling Club. This important World Curling Tour event will feature excellent competition with teams from across Canada and around the world. The DeKalb Superspiel Finals, Monday, November 20th at 4 p.m. and 7 p.m., exclusively on Shaw TV. We're back with the 7th end of the Canadians Classic game between John Schuster and John Epping from the Portage Curling Club. And the first true break in the game, Maureen, John Schuster steals a point off a tap by John Epping that's just a little heavy, pushes his rock just deep. It had to stop full 8 foot, pushed it back through into the 12 foot, and Schuster steals the first point of the game, scores the single on the even end, and goes up by a score of 5-3.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for John Epping. He had to go a little bit farther out than they'd played the whole end, and doing that tap, it just ran on him a little bit, a little fresher ice out there perhaps, and just a foot too heavy.
More room this time.
More line too. Whoa. I like the weight.
Line's weight a little different than last
I
one.
want to stagger him though. Freezing.
We go side by side?
Maybe behind it. Hoping it's going to die. No. I don't think so.
You don't want to stagger? We're going to stagger him right now.
Bump it. Yep.
Little bump.
Don't stagger.
Little bump.
Okay.
That's good enough.
That's fine. That's not bad.
Tim March throws his second shot of the end. Schuster's lead John Leinsteiner, both of his stones in the rings. One pretty much full in the 4 foot circle, one just biting the edge of the 4 foot circle in the center line. And March is asked by John Epping to throw a draw tap, move one back into the 8 foot, and start building a wall behind and get some rocks in play in front.
Line's good.
Pretty good. Whoa. Line only right now. Line only.
Whoa. Yes. Whoa. Good.
Pocket.
What's that?
They go if you hit the pocket.
Like here?
Yeah.
Well, this is a full rock higher.
Oh, well.
You're probably going to get rid of ours.
Is nose better or just?
Yeah, I was thinking like even just like hit this side of nose. Get rid of this one. Nose is fine.
I mean,
there's an inch and a half.
Yeah, well, John, even if we just play peel, we lose the back when the shooter goes out, where's he getting 3? He gets two, we take hammer coming home. He's got to play the whole end out with no guards to get two.
Right. So you're saying you want to just try to peel
I'm saying just try to get it right now if you can.
Like I said, we can try off here, but I think, like I said, I think we're probably just hitting.
No, I think you're just playing peel here. If you lose all the blues, it's still good
we
for
lose
us.
everything, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. We could theoretically push it. That's fine.
I don't know what the call is.
It's peel. Drill that yellow one.
Straight off.
The more rocks we lose right now, the better, no matter what.
Yeah, I agree. That was my.
You said a quarter rock here is really good, Matt.
Matt Hamill. His first stone. He's trying to rip the yellow one. If they lose both of the blue stones, they're not going to be bothered by it.
Okay, it's fine, Matt.
But they didn't.
Get all the way out, Stan.
Left Epping a stone.
Good job.
Such a bad.
He'll ask for Patrick Jansen to play a draw. Corner frozen on the blue stone, the Schuster stone on the forefeit.
You can mention it if you want to mention it. I don't know.
From the discussion on that last end, I think Schuster's just happy to keep it clean and keep it very simple and not get into it, and not worried about just eliminating yellow stones at this point.
Not terribly concerned about giving up a pair, a tie.
No.
Having the last rock playing the 8th.
Top 12.
He'd rather not, obviously.
Right. Well, Tyler George's comment that, he's got no guards up, nothing to hide behind, so we'll see how that plays out.
Draw by Patrick Jansen. Powerful sweeping, well swept. Brings it right to that blue stone, that Schuster stone. Based on the logic of Matt Hamilton's first stone, they'd play the same shot again, wouldn't they?
Well, I
think they're looking at the double.
Yeah.
4 inches. There's nothing. Anywhere on the inside, it's gone.
Hit a yellow one. If you kill a blue one, great. If you kill both yellow ones, really great.
Intern? Yeah, intern, all right.
People will just get it over
Probably
that
2/3 at least, but 2/3
Give
is
me
good.
a touch more then.
Okay.
We want to make sure we at least kill that yellow.
Yeah.
Basically playing double kill on this yellow-blue combination and roll over to the other yellow. Maybe he gets a double kill on the yellows.
Mm-hmm.
Hard! Hard! Whoa!
Get out! Go! Attaboy.
Great shot.
Nice shot. Now draw around.
Too much more here, Patty.
See this shot. He just needs to
This rock's better.
off nose, kills the blue and the yellow one, and over to the side one out of the house. Yep, one blue. So Epping will use this opportunity to draw around that stone.
Yep. Yeah, that should be there. I think we're there, Johnny.
You gotta go. You really gotta go. You gotta really go.
Go. Gotta go hard, Mike.
Whoa. Whoa.
Back 12.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Almost got
Back
you.
12. Whoa.
Almost got you.
Yep.
Weight's good. Weight's good.
Just hanging on. Whoa.
Me?
Yep. Yep. Charlie. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Everything you got, bud. Everything you got. Everything you got. Everything you got.
Very good.
Spot.
Well, he makes the draw that he called for. Back 12 foot behind the Schuster stone.
Run ours or play at this one?
8 foot.
I think ours is good because we might lose them all.
Almost fighting the edge of the
Yeah,
button.
you're trying here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even if you just bang this and do this,
That's fine,
pretty
yeah.
darn good.
Okay.
Feel.
Tyler George, intern hit.
Well. Oh.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Never.
Whoa.
No. No.
Whoa.
No.
All right, good.
Good boy. Good call, Ty.
Good.
How do you feel?
That worked out well. Rolled away from center.
That was the John Schuster's even if you just, but it was exactly that.
Right, we hit out.
Got the right
Sorry.
angle. He took the
Hit out.
yellow stone out of the back of the rings. He rolled his own Schuster stone out of the, so that he's not
Try next
behind
time.
the ring,
Feel.
behind the tee line. And he
John-
leaves that one rock out in the 12 foot.
Good check.
And John signaling to Charlie Thomas that we'll just hit it out and maybe blank out this end. Try again.
Yep.
want to be at least T-line, right?
Sure, right on the button.
Anything top 8, he's going around,
That's
maybe.
fine.
Weight's good. Easy.
Back button, guys.
Right to the button.
Pretty close. Be all here.
On the button. Don't let it. Yep, yep.
It's all there.
Okay.
Stop right here.
Sorry, guys.
Perfect.
Sorry.
Nice one to shoot.
You got it.
Give me some. That was a good burn.
That was nice to get a free look, too. For me, just a lot.
Even though that one slides a little deep of the tee line, it's not very,
Yep.
and Epping
Okay.
has committed now to allowing this end to go to a blank.
Yeah, for sure. Keeping it clean.
Go.
Go, Chuck.
You want 7 or not? That's all.
Yep.
Clean.
Yep.
Clean.
Clean. Yep. Clean. Clean. You're good. Good job.
Schuster follows the Thomas hit with a hit of his own. Rolls 8 foot. John Epping already in the hack, ready to throw. Practicing his time management, even though he doesn't have to at this event.
Exactly.
No need to fool around. He throws the in-turn hit. Nose hit.
So we're thinking we could have thrown ties right to the back gate and hoped somebody didn't freeze it right now. I'm okay being up 2. That's enough one play.
John Schuster throws in-turn hit again. You'll want to stick. You'll want to take that little chance that Epping won't roll out.
One more way. Clean. Clean.
Whoa, whoa.
Good. Good boy.
Baby.
Good hand, guys. Really good. Really good hand.
Well, Schuster team is happy with the way this end finishes.
End has gone well.
Yep.
Epping
Yep.
will hit for the blank.
Whoa, hard, hard.
Yep.
Picking hard.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hits the blank. First blank of our day, Maureen.
Yeah.
As John Schuster and his team from Duluth lead John Epping from Toronto 5-3, coming to the 8th end in their game at Portage La Prairie. We'll be right back with coverage of the 8th end from Portage in the 2017 Canadians Classic on Shaw TV and Shaw Direct.
Destination Centers, proud to support our community with 10 destination centers in Manitoba.
Welcome back to the Portage Curling Club for the 2017 Canadians Men's Classic on Shaw TV and Shaw Direct. If you want to follow along the conversation on social media, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook at Shaw TV Winnipeg, #CurlingOnShaw. Now back to you guys up in the booth.
Well, it is the 8th end, possibly the final end, although I don't think you'd bet against a pair for the Epping team. That's certainly their objective. And a blank end on the 7th, the first blank of our day. Maureen followed a steal of one on the 6th, the first steal of our day. John Schuster and his team from Duluth lead John Epping and his team from Toronto by a score of 5-3. Opening shot at the end by John Schuster. John Landsteiner's rock slid back into the back of the 12-foot circle. Remember on the previous end coming this way, John was actually long with his guard. So it's given John Epping the opportunity to play a corner guard. He goes to this side of the rings where the Schuster rock is sitting in the back 12. And Schuster asked Landsteiner again to throw one just a little higher up.
All right, side. I'm not paying.
Line's good.
Short.
Go. Line's good.
Right's pretty good. Gotta go, though.
You're moving then.
Top 4 foot, he'd like this rock to stop.
There you go.
Perfect stone.
What do you guys think?
Love to do that.
Yeah.
Just hard to get there.
Intern probably, yeah.
Yeah, we threw a bunch here 2 ends ago.
Yeah, it'll run good.
Same line that John threw his tap.
They were actually
It's
running
heavy.
pretty good out here. Yeah. 14-5 to tee. Yeah. This one's probably a 14 to tee. Okay.
Very weight sensitive. Maureen and John was just that little bit heavy on his last stone on the 6th end, and with negative results for him. So it's very weight sensitive.
It's just fresh ice out there, and it's maybe it's not in the sliding path where it grips a little bit coming into the house.
A little bit early.
Hard line, hard! Hard!
Okay, you're good.
He's good.
Where? What's
Good.
good right now?
No,
Yep.
just to it, just to it. It's not even.
Yep. Hard line. Whoa.
Line's good.
Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa.
Little bump.
Whoa. Good, Jim.
Nice shot.
See you guys.
It's a little quicker out there. He threw a 13.7, so it's
just
about
feel the
14
guard.
out there.
I think so.
Might get a better look.
Schuster's opportunity now to remove the guard.
Lead.
Clean.
Yep.
Yep. Clean.
And Matt Happel hits and rolls away.
Half.
Okay. Top way.
Just past that.
If you want to go a little,
Okay.
Scratch come down.
Looks a little quiet, boys.
Just
Line's
over.
good.
Kind of halfway
Yeah,
guard
just over
here.
now.
Line's good.
High half.
Okay. Line's good. Whoa. Good. Very nice, Pat.
Yeah, I don't like that rock at all.
I know, it's bad, eh?
Just don't like that rock at all. he
Nope.
says. Another peel for Matt Hamilton.
Lead.
Quick.
Really easy.
Clean.
though.
Just clean.
Really easy. All right, Andy, nice pair.
Successfully. John Epping will follow again with another guard.
Yeah, halfway.
Same, maybe a little less. Just over.
Gonna be Charlie.
While we watch this Epping guard attempt come down the ice from
Nice, guys.
Patrick Jansen, we
Just
can
short
tell
half.
you that Dylan Johnston, who we watched earlier today, has just made a hit for a pair on the 6th end. Johnson leads the Kim team, the Korean Olympic team, by a score of 4-1. In the other game, the Morizumi team from Japan playing Colton Flash, got a bunch of guys leaning against the scoreboard, but Morizumi has about a 3-point lead, playing 7.
Coming around this one, they were peeling out.
This guard hung out
Stuff
there a
in the
little bit
back of the
farther
house is
out.
bad
They
right
can
now.
see these back
Okay.
rocks.
How much you got? Half?
A big half.
A
Okay.
big half.
I mean, obviously you get that, fine, right?
Yeah. I mean, do you think that's better?
What, taking this out? Yeah, probably.
I think it is.
Fine.
Just make sure the shooter goes.
Yeah.
I
What
think.
do you want to throw?
Actually, maybe we want the shooter to stay if you roll back here.
Well, then the only thing is then coming around is a freeze rock for him.
Yeah, but it gives him less room to draw around the corner and get shot.
Fair enough. I'm just not, I mean, he can go around the corner and I'm fine with it. They're not going to get 3.
Yeah.
So just make sure we make contact with one of them. Ideally, you probably pick this on the way by.
Okay.
You want to throw normal or like control?
I was going to say firm.
Okay, firm's good.
This level of very good communication and very clear communication makes it really easy to do the television broadcast, doesn't it, Maureen?
Yeah, we don't have to say a thing. It's
Really
just
hard.
listen and learn.
Play the
Hard
guard.
to the top one. Still got to go.
Plays the out tiering, but he's actually going to peel the guard off.
Got to make contact.
Let's forget about that.
Not sure what went wrong there, Maureen. Maybe just a case of too much communication and not really clear at the end what weight they were throwing.
Maybe that was it. Overthought it.
Yeah.
Overthunk it.
Epping moves. Now his ice is at the edge of the 8-foot circle, playing a draw that
Got a good idea here?
freeze to the center, the rock in the center of the rings.
Well, that brings 3 back into the equation if you can draw and freeze on top of that. Perfect.
Charlie Thomas, his first stone of this 8th and 8-end game.
It's pretty good.
Epping,
Really curling early.
Epping trails by 2, so a deuce would push us to an extra. But
This hasn't been a very fair in-turn draw to be able to perform. So it's tough to get this perfect.
Hard tip.
Charlie did it.
which therefore suggests that was a very good shot. If you're setting it up the whole way, that it's very tough to make, and he makes it.
I think I'd give him an extra point just from what we've seen on that in-turn draw side. It's been so tough to get it to where you need it to be.
Moved it about an inch. He'll say, I didn't want to jiggle it, but that little tap is still not enough to be an issue. Schuster will play this back when now the hit that he wanted the last time when Tyler George wrecked on the guard. This time he throws the in-turn hit.
Oh, yeah. Whoa. Hard on the shooter. Hard on the shooter.
It should go. Go hard. It should all go.
Hard, Steiner, go.
Hard.
Go. Good.
Rolls everything away.
Okay.
So he just wants to clear everything out of the back of the house here. He throws the in-turn take out high side and takes both rocks out, and his shooter rolls out, leaving only the 2 stones in the house.
Charlie Thomas, his second stone of this scheduled final end.
Half.
Epping calls for a guard.
Just over. Yep. Just short of half. Hey, your line's good.
Line's okay.
Line's good.
Yeah, line will get there.
Line will get there easy.
I think you want this at least halfway.
Canad, just turn the Canad.
Very good.
They like to use that logo as a as a distance guide. You know, just put it on the logo. Just put it on the Canadians.
Yeah.
Does that make it too easy to lay one?
What?
I said, does that make it too easy to lay one if you go in? Like,
I mean, I guess if we ever don't lay perfect here, say it goes 2/3 and he makes the smash, he could be lying too buried.
right. But I don't like going in unless, like, I like guarding this, I think.
I don't like guarding that because he can come in here and tap, you know what I
he
mean?
can
Like,
still come in and
move
monkey
this
it.
stuff around.
Now if we rip, he's freezing there, right?
Yeah, which is, I mean, I guess I'm okay with.
The cue is that Epping put up a guard. I don't know if you want to put up a guard too.
That's really good.
It's always a bit of a
Cover if you get under a piece of that rock.
cue not to do that.
I mean, you can come in here and freeze this, and then we guard the other side. You got nothing, right?
It's just a matter if you're okay with him playing the freeze here. I mean, he makes it really good. He can still get 3.
Then I just have to make a draw to count
I don't-
2 rocks, right?
Wow, yeah. I think the guard's a better shot, honestly.
Guarding the yellow?
No, underneath. Yeah.
A side guard
But
behind
that's
the
better.
yellow.
I think so.
Well, I mean, we rip, he's going here.
Like I said, you got nothing on either side of this from the hack?
No, it's, well, maybe if anything this side.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I could theoretically go like this, and if we ever just peel this out of here, and it, only thing I
You do
can't
have
do
a
is whip
little
it. I know,
piece
that's
here,
what I'm
but
saying. I
you
can throw
can't-
peel at it.
You can't whip it.
Right, so I just got to make sure we probably throw it on the edge and just throw it if we...
I like that more.
Not really.
I mean, if you just touch it, it's not good either.
I think this
John.
is great.
I don't, no,
Okay.
this is great.
You don't want it in the house.
If it's in the house and he makes
Yeah,
something great.
that peel attempt to pick that out of there is a very low percentage shot, and he really is. They've already convinced themselves they don't want to
Is
remove
that
the
better than
guard.
ripping it and let them try to freeze?
Thing is, they just threw 2 perfect like line shots. They know the line. That was a perfect
then
freeze, and then
I
this
just
is
have
a
to get one
perfect
here,
guard.
right? Like
Have to though. I mean, then you're playing against the law.
Right, yeah, let's those.
I think we go underneath it.
Okay, so Steiner threw
He's decided to just go on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you get any piece under the yellow, it's good.
Well, I think John's last indication there is that they anticipate that John Epping will go around the other side to the yellow rock. John says he does that. I just have to draw to the open side of the forfeit circle where he can't take both of my rocks out. And what does he do? So,
Well, you also have to think that there's a blue stone that's counting right now, and John Epping has 2 stones left. So with one of those stones, he needs to move the blue stone out of there if that's what he's going to count. Or is he only using his 2 stones as the counters for the tie? So.
Yeah,
John Schuster in a turn draw. He wants to come to the top of the 12-foot, basically halfway between the 2 yellow stones.
Yep. Gotta go. Yeah, gotta go. Whoa, line's good.
I know me.
Line's perfect.
I know me.
Yeah.
I know me, Ty.
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa, you're by. Whoa. No. Whoa, you're already far enough. Perfect. Sit. Good. Really good, John.
Finished in there nicely.
Well, that is the shot he called, so if it was the right shot, it was
Run it
well
with control
executed.
and try and leave the run in the house.
They're looking at this, they're just bringing it down, just tucking it around the yellow guard. There was discussion about putting a high guard up, but this was the better choice. Fully around, takes the straight back away from John Epping.
I wonder if right beside it's good.
If this does turn out to be the final end of the game, stay tuned after Blair Malistravich will have an interview with the winning skip. I'm not yet predicting that this is the final end. This has been a very entertaining end again, Maureen.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to see it. You're just trying to see, make sure I know exactly where you want it. Like here or just above it?
Just above it would be perfect, but if it's
So I think you need the same line as that one that we over-iced you, don't you? Because you were just a little
that was my
heavy on
first.
it.
That was my first. Yeah,
Half
you were
it.
there.
half in the forefoot.
I don't mind just a little, just because.
Is he looking at cornering
You're
this?
not drawing button line, right? You're
just beside
No,
the blue.
yeah. For me, I figured this was my button.
Yeah, so I think you need
just
right there. Yeah,
the
yeah,
blue.
for sure.
Like, sorry,
They can
beside
hold
the
it in
blue,
there.
but 2 inches higher.
Just cornering the
Basically, we
blue.
want right.
Talk about precision and
Yeah,
accuracy.
just like before. You know what? Let him race up with it down. Whoever catches a bit.
Okay.
Shot. Think we're pretty good for speed? Yeah, it's really close.
Yep.
Okay, your line's good.
A little heavy.
Close.
Good early. T.
Well then, getting tighter.
Yep. T.
We
Yep.
can go a bit.
Whoa. T. Whoa. Don't want
Play a
to.
little off of that.
Don't want to.
No.
John Epping's draw, he's got to catch that run, which he's catching.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay.
Again, what if we guard? What if we threw in right here?
Are we guarding against the
guess.
loss?
No.
I don't know if I.
You can't keep them both. How can you guard to get?
Yeah.
Like right now, the only way you can maybe lose is if he runs this in here and that thing spins.
Yeah, I
it
guess
out.
this is. He can't make this for 3, right? Now the way it's
No, but can he make this and roll this into the house for a second point?
He's always got that straight back
No, if he
angle.
goes like this here and catches, clips that, does this one roll into the house for his third point?
Might. It's close.
I know, that's why.
I think we got killed in stone.
Okay, we're risking killing this stone's the problem. And actually, even if we kill it, he still has double for the 2.
What if you draw
I
into
guess if I
those
get
2
inside of it, he
yellows?
doesn't, but
Or just eliminate, I guess, get rid of it?
Exact same shot for 2.
we can't wreck though. If we wreck, he's got this for this 3.
You guard it.
We think he might be able to make this and it might roll into the house for a third point.
What if you tap the yellow and roll in?
And the only other thing I can try to do is throw him back here.
Tap the yellow and roll.
The
know what,
outside
that might
yellow
be a
that Charlie
shot.
just
I think it-
put
'cause you
there.
get full
Tap
12.
that back and roll.
right,
Try and
right,
just roll in.
Yeah, that's a shot.
Roll to the center line.
You don't want it back.
Drawn to the back of the forefoot
Right
is
here.
not a bad plan either that they're talking about now.
Yeah, I know.
That's not a bad plan
Well, okay,
either,
that's a little
except
risky, I guess.
We just got to make sure it
the
gets
angles there.
As long as you can take it, fine. Well, I guess if it goes all the way over
Yeah,
here, though.
maybe I want to hit that one now that I think about that. I mean, if it ever fudges here,
Eliminate.
stops.
Can't count if it's
That's our
not
worst
there.
case, right?
Yeah, but as long as it stays here, the best they can do is stop.
Yeah.
And if I make it here,
Okay. Just do it.
So his logic here is that if he's
Matt,
gets that little
Matt,
swing
your call
and
here. You gotta make
biting
sure we're
the
by
back of
this
the
no matter
forefoot
what.
circle, a double kill on the 2 blues is not going to be that easy.
No.
it's a hell of a tough stick. Even, I mean, we make him make this, and it's really tough to stick this and have it stay in the 8 foot.
Right, yeah, for sure.
So even if this is just full 8 foot back there and third shot rock, I think we're okay.
I had a
Then he's
4-1 on
got to
your
run
last
this.
one.
That's all. What's that?
I had 4-1 in your last.
Okay, I'm going to throw you guys 9-5.
7, 8.
Yep.
9.
Line's good. Right off that.
Yep.
Easy.
John Schuster's final
Go.
rock of this
Yeah,
8th
go.
end is
Gotta
on the
go.
way.
9.
No, line's
And
okay.
out turn draw, he
Okay,
wants to
hold
draw
it.
to the back
Hold
of the
it.
forefoot circle.
Really close to it. Wait, perfect. Yeah, whoa, that. Whoa. Still think it's high.
Sit. Sit. Ah.
Okay, John.
That's
Fine.
too
Weight
heavy.
was far from perfect.
Okay. All right.
There, if you want to play.
So now the question is there a shot for 3?
Were you like normal? Sure. Yep.
Angle on yellow. Is that what he's looking?
I think so.
Or as thin as you can, like an 8.
Angle on yellow gives him 2,
Actually,
and maybe he bites the edge of the 8
Quarter.
foot circle for the 3rd point.
What?
can you hit it too thin?
No.
No.
It's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Angles aren't there for 3, eh?
I think they're
Did I
looking
mention
at
it?
just going for their 2.
Score a pair.
Yeah.
Johnny,
Like that?
is there potentially a nose run for 3?
There is, yeah,
Okay.
for sure. I mean, yeah.
If he doesn't overthrow it
Charlie, you know
and just
what?
play the
That's even a deuce if I
tap
know
out,
run.
he might be able to stick around for 3.
It's just as hard as that shot. I thought it's almost reduced.
Like it's just as probably just as it's probably just as hard as that.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
You think it ever spins on?
I do think you're clicking it.
So the logic on this run, Maureen, is that the yellow goes on to blue, the blue goes on to yellow and rolls away, the yellow goes on to blue and takes the blue out of the back 12 foot at the same time, and the yellow rock rolls onto the 12 foot. Have I got it figured out?
Well,
I mean, that's the sequence of events that they want to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think I can throw the weight pack to get the 3 out of the 8 foot without losing my. No, I know what you mean. I just think it's the same. That's no picnic either, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're equally as hard.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I think there's more upside. And
if you stick it, we still get 2, Johnny. Yeah.
But he's right about that, isn't he? If he runs yellow onto blue onto yellow, they get the tie. It's the extra activity that's the bonus in this instance.
Yeah, I just don't see that high yellow rolling on for the shot. It's playing it pretty narrow to get even the 2 that way.
Basic playing double run, in fact, effectively a triple takeout or triple raise takeout to lie a pair. Flipping out of the hack with the in-turn hit.
He's throwing enough weight at this.
No. No. Come on. No.
Oh, he got his 2.
And he gets a 2. John Epping scores a pair, ties the game at 5-5. We will be back with bonus coverage of the Canadians Classic from Portage-la Prairie after this.
Sorry, I gave that a little too much setting.
Tavern United, a new world sports pub. With a wide selection of sporting events televised at our 8 locations in Manitoba. Tavern United, your destination for great sports all the time.
It's been a classic from the Canadians Classic in Portage-la Prairie. John Epping scoring a deuce on the 5th end to tie the game at 5-5. And John Epping will go to an extra end with John Schuster. Schuster and his team from Duluth with last rock on this extra end. Pretty well no chance, Maureen, that they were going to get that 3. It had to be throwing a lot harder, and just the odds of that complete sequence of events happening were just very, very slim.
Well, and you had to be so sure of that because you needed to get your 2 to go to the extra end. So it was a good try, and you know, I think it was likely the easier of the shots as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit tight.
Yeah, when John Epping said it's at least as easy as playing that little angle hit, he was completely right. That was to some extent more of a finesse shot with hit weight, and those are sometimes pretty hard to do.
Line's good. We're over.
Epping throws first.
Let it go. Let it go.
Tim March.
Not you, Chuck. Not you.
You got to go tight with that?
Throwing the guard.
We're close. It's okay. It's okay.
In a 5-5 tie, an extra end between John Schuster and John Epping in the Canadians Classic.
Hard, buddy. Hard. Hard.
I did say midway through that first or that 8th end, Maureen, that I wasn't predicting that it was the final end, and I suggested folks stay with this for Blair's interview with the winning skip. I'm going to do that again with a fair bit more confidence that this will be the final end of the game.
That's good.
The number of rocks have been in play. I'm suggesting a blank is unlikely in this extra end.
Hack.
So for the first time today, we see an attempt at the tick shot to move that guard of Epping's off the center line.
Close. Yep. Yep.
John Landsteiner is very close.
Get it. Attaboy.
Nicely done.
Let's go on the way, guys.
Call, Johnny.
Good shot to make with board.
Halfway.
Same spot. Same spot. Just like double team watch.
Those are truly team shots, aren't they, Maureen? The skip has to communicate the weight he wants. The thrower has to get the broom perfectly with the weight the skip wants, and then the sweepers have to sweep it just that right amount to get that. I mean, the difference between hitting that onto the boards and missing it completely. It's a wonderful team shot.
On the logo.
Okay. A little deeper.
Yeah. On the logo.
Tim Marsh's second guard attempt.
Very good.
Not quite as good as the first, but a darn fine shot that again stops right on the edge of that Canadians logo.
I'll try again the tick shot.
Same way.
Yep.
Gotta go. Maybe a hair less. Yep. Thin.
Whoa.
Gotta be thin again.
Close. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Attaboy. Beauty.
2 ticks and the
Really
bonus
good.
rolling onto the edge of the 12-foot circle. Two great shots.
Better now, too.
Really good.
Oh, man.
Okay. It's a little higher than
It's
where mine
a
was.
pump you up kind of play, both of
Through
those
this time. Go, Patty.
shots.
Target.
It's not a touchdown dance like we see on the NFL, but
Well, it's one of those times when, having played lead for quite a long time, in fact, let's say a very long time, it's one of those times when you do actually get to say to your teammates, all right, I've done my job. Now, you guys be as good as I was this end.
Good spot. Just that rock. Throw that with the other one.
I killed it a bit.
You go thin over the top, I think. Thinner than half.
Thinner than half.
Thinner than half, yeah. Anything thinner than half.
to avoid the jam.
Matt Hamilton. Turn Peely made this shot twice on the last end.
That's hard! Hard!
Oh, good catch.
save.
Don't fall. That's a tough
Hey,
catch.
good work.
Kick save.
Don't try that at home.
It's one of those times when the teams from Ontario don't have practice with that, not having dividers in most of the clubs in Ontario, and that rock would have been running right into the feet of our cameraman.
For sure.
Patrick Jansen, his second draw.
That's about 2 feet more. Yeah, it's a little more.
Have to place a second guard.
Too short a half.
Okay.
We look over to sheet 3, we see that the game is no longer on the ice. The Morizumi team has defeated Colton Flash. Korean team, the Kim team, has scored a pair on the 7th end and trail
That one's safe.
Dylan Johnston 4-3 coming home.
Save.
So we have one international team. The Japanese team has qualified through the sea. John Schuster could, as could the Kim team. Could have 3 internationals.
Okay.
Don't think we were playing a tick on that shot, but he got away with it.
Yep.
We got the double guard.
I say could have. Dylan Johnson and his team do have control, at least to the extent that they've got last rock and a single-point lead.
He's not going to get
Being
shot.
semi-facetious.
He's got a triple.
And now with some rocks clustered over here on the outside of the rings, John Epping's actually talking about a wide guard and get some action out there.
Right here,
Yeah.
Forcing them to play the out turn to peel it and possibly putting it into those side rocks.
Yeah. Middle should be pretty close still, eh? Yeah. I thought weight's good. Weight's good. Deep half.
Yeah,
deep, almost tight.
That's almost in.
Tight.
Gonna come down. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. It's all Tim. It's all
Watch
Tim.
it.
It's all Tim.
Tight, Johnny. Coming down. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Nice shot by Charlie Thomas.
Pretty good shot. Spot, Chucky. I have faith. Huh? Just knew exactly where that's going, eh?
Oh, yeah. Never a doubt. That's fine too. I'm fine with that. That's fine.
Whatever turn you want. If you got enough to play in, you can play in.
We've seen this in turn before when we thought there was enough, and he ended up hanging out on the higher one and flipping it. But
And in fact, it was Tyler that did that. But he doesn't want to fall into the trap that you suggested John was laying for him, to get a little wide on an out turn and run it into those two
those
yellows.
Yep.
This is the-
Yep. Hard. Hard.
In fact, he did throw the out turn.
He's going to cross the face on this.
First time tonight I wasn't paying attention.
I gotta draw one in there now, I think. Go back here.
Hey. Sorry, where are we putting?
Just half, it looks like.
3 rocks to come. Charlie Thomas,
We're out.
third man for John Epping, his final stone of this extra end. Going to a more traditional kind of guards closer to the center line.
Move it around a little bit and make them have to throw a different shot.
Okay. Stop right, bud.
Oh no.
Stop right, Chuck.
Did that pick?
Why don't we say it picked?
Okay.
The alternative is that he just threw it very late, and I don't think that's the case. So.
Like rip it this way? I mean, I hate to rip it this way and roll towards center.
No, I know. I'm saying the outside of it.
That's fine.
It'd have to be so thin to jam it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to hit almost none of it to jam. So.
It's either that or, yeah, I mean, there's never anything throwing it in the house
I don't
that's
think
good,
so.
is there?
I don't think so.
Really?
No, just give him some rocks to move around.
Well, I think he'll be.
Even if you, I mean, if you threw it
You
right here,
remove that, he's going to be drawing around
or
that
you're looking super precision
12-foot
shots.
stone
Right now,
likely
he's got nothing.
anyway.
So I think you can do this.
Is this
but
even helping him that much?
Probably not, because honestly, he might be able to do this and roll this way and kick this way
Yeah,
too.
that actually is probably hurting him more.
Or just throw it away.
Just throw it to the boards? Is that better?
Unless you want to like do something like tap this to the 8 foot.
Nah, no, I don't want to give him something he can freeze on and cut some of the house off.
Right, so throw it away.
I think we just throw it to the boards.
I mean,
yeah, I think that's best.
I think it's probably a shot.
Just throw it away.
I don't like the tap. You can leave him a freeze.
No, I hate the tap. We're not putting that. We're just trying to figure out if we're going to peel that one or.
That's the only thing you could.
Yeah, but it might actually hurt him having that rock there right now because he could hit just off nose on that top one, maybe move his in the rings and roll in. Ooh, I throw that one.
Interesting talk there, Maureen. Talked about ripping that guard off, and then as John Schuster says, we'd rip it off. There's actually a chance that we give them the opportunity to put 2 rocks on the rings off of the pair that's sitting there that are guarded now. So they just throw it away.
Yeah, and it is true that high guard. I think John Epping was looking at angling it in at some point if he could make that. So removing that high guard would make it a lot easier for that to happen.
Fudges in the outside, frost, notes.
Fully?
Yeah, back fully. I think you're within 2 to 3 here, guys.
Yep.
Okay. Line's
Be
good,
hair
room.
hot. Might be a hair hot, John.
Line's really good.
Epping playing the intern draw.
Little room. No, I think you're good, guys.
Straight's
Room.
good.
Line's
Over
okay.
to the
Room.
side of
Not
the
a
rings
curl.
where that
Don't want to for weight.
No, line's good.
Schuster rock sits biting the 8-foot
Line's
circle.
good.
Oh, that's really starting to dig.
Take a look.
Full 8.
Yep, yep. Yes,
Yes, yes, yes, yes, yes. Yep. Hard, 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 hard.
Nice shot.
Half buried in the back of the 8-foot behind it.
I had to wait on this a little bit, and then once it got crossed center line, it started to dig in and curl. Trying to tuck it around a little bit, peek it out a bit.
Keep it clean, Steiner.
Schuster will throw the intern hit at it.
Whoa. Nothing, no.
He straightened this up a little bit when he threw it.
Nothing, no, is not something you want to hear from your third man.
Okay.
All right. Huh.
That was cool.
I mean, just for our sweep. Yeah. I was just thinking for us to watch a foot more die at the end and then tell Johnny it's pretty close.
Like having to look at that.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. We probably want to be 4 inches off the 4-foot.
I like
or
that.
half
just
a
a hair over. Full,
Yeah.
full 8.
8 foot, the center's pretty darn good.
Just full 8.
Okay.
Just full 8 here?
Yeah, full 8.
Wants to be laying a pair,
Fraction more.
as you've heard him say. He
What's
wants to
that?
be full in the
Fraction
8-foot
more.
on the center line.
I think split center.
Okay.
So that if John Schuster comes to the nose of it, the other rock or both rocks are going to count. Probably forces the draw.
Yeah, I think he'll just have to draw full 4.
Hey, a little tight for line.
This one looks a little slower.
Full 8.
Good.
Gotta go.
Wait only. All you.
Weight's good.
You're gonna have to go once it gets into this path.
Full 8.
Make sure. Yep.
Full 8.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Go, go, Tim. Hard.
Hard, Timmy, go.
Hard.
Keep it moving.
Hard. You got to go. Hard, 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 hard.
Go.
Didn't get to second shot, I don't think. He's gonna draw anyway.
From that camera angle, you would assume that he didn't, but it means nothing. He's having missed the first time through. Play a draw to the basically full 8-foot.
Come off that. 5 seconds.
So it's coming down into that slide path area where it just takes the weight off and the curl starts to take the weight off, and trying to drag it as far as they can, just biting the 8-foot.
So for the win, John Schuster, Duluth, wants to draw basically to bite the 4-foot circle. He wants to be in the 4-foot. If he's close to the 4-foot ring, he wins.
We drew down this spot the last end coming home and was heavy back 8-foot.
So the same shot he threw in that last end when he was deep. You're right.
This weight looks pretty good.
Comes to the top of the rings. Sweepers bring it.
Nice shot.
And that shot stops. Biting the button, John Schuster and his team from Duluth pick up a single point on the extra end with a draw to the edge of the button and a 6-5 victory over John Epping and his team from Ontario. We'll be back right after this for our post-game show from the 2017 Canadians Men's Classic on Shaw TV and Shaw Direct.
This is art. This is art. This is Winnipeg. This is Winnipeg Art. We want to see your creation. To get your work onto Winnipeg Art, email us at createtv@shaw.ca.
Tavern United, a new world sports pub. With a wide selection of sporting events televised at our 8 locations in Manitoba. Tavern United, your destination for great sports all the time.
Welcome back. I'm Blair Malstravich here with John Schuster, victorious John Schuster. Let's talk about that game. How'd that go?
It was good. I mean, we both teams struggled a tiny bit. The ice kind of changed on us there for about an end, but then we got it back, and we were pretty confident. I mean, I was pretty confident with the speed on that. Just find me the 4-foot, and I'll put it in there in the extra.
You know, a lot of pressure on that shot. How did you feel going into that?
Oh, I mean, I felt great. We've had really good communication through my draws the entire game, and I kind of overthrew my one in there in the 8th, but it was kind of a little scary because if you're short, there's a chance we could lose. So I was kind of took the sand trap out of play, but yeah, it was good to make that last one.
What would you say about the showing for the other team?
What's that?
What would you say about the showing from the other team?
Oh, I mean, Team Epping's a great curling team, and you know, it looked like there after I made my first one in the 8th end that it was going to be over in the 8th end. He made an absolutely perfect shot with his first one and forced me into, you know, not having. He was going to have a shot probably for the tie no matter what, and of course made a great shot because he's a great player.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more from the 2017 Canadiens Men's Classic.
Canadiens Destination Centers, proud to support our community with 10 destination centers in Manitoba.
Tune into Hot Wheels with a Z and go car racing.
This is my 57 GMC Carpenter school bus.
Everything about cars and car culture in Manitoba. Get those RPMs up, take the roof down. Check out all the classic vehicles, learning everything about cars and car culture in Manitoba.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Blair Malstravich. I'm joined by Resby Coots and Maureen Bonner. We're going to talk about, you know, the 4 teams that showed. Can you pay attention here? Come on. I know there's curling going on, but here we go. You know, we covered 4 teams today. Let's talk about their representation here.
Oh, I think it was an outstanding pair of games today. We saw a young team from Northern Ontario, Dylan Johnston, playing William Lyburn. William didn't have his best game overall, but Dylan Johnston was full value for the victory. And now this last game, just an outstanding game, I thought, between Epping and Shuster, 2 teams who could potentially be in the Olympics in February, and John Schuster, full value for an extra end win.
Thoughts?
Well, it was a great game. I think we're in for a treat tomorrow, so everybody should stay tuned for tomorrow's games.
That's right. So tomorrow night it'll be the 2017 Canadian Men's Classic Final at 6 p.m. on Shaw TV, Shaw Direct. And you can also, if you step away from your TV, you can always go on social media and you can see it live streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Until tomorrow, I'm Blair Malstravich.
Resby Coots.
Maureen Bonner.
Have a great night.